A scene fitting for Norman Rockwell here at Stony Brook Field as the Brewster Whitecaps host the Harwich Mariners in the regular season finale of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Aiden Doyle alongside Maura Sheridan will be joined by the third member of our crew, Carter Woodeel, here in just a few minutes. And Maura, it really could not be a more perfect day for baseball here at Stony Brook Field.
Absolutely. Beautiful weather. The wind's not blowing too harshly. It's not too hot. It's just about 78 degrees, according to weather.com. So it is. It's a perfect day for baseball, and it's the last game of the season, of the regular season. And the Harwich Mariners, it's the last game they'll be playing in 2017.
Yeah, it's the last game for them. They obviously in last place in the Eastern Division with a record of 15-27-1 coming into today's contest. Brewster enters the game at 20-21-2, looking to get back to 500 as they head into the playoffs. Still unsure of who they're going to face in the first round, whether it be Orleans or Yarmouth Dennis. We'll hear from Carter Woodeel with more on that later on here before the start of today's game. But yesterday, these two teams faced off at White House Field in Harwich, and it didn't exactly go as planned for Coach Shevchik and the Whitecaps, falling 7-4 to the Harwich Mariners.
Yeah, it was just a rough game for the Whitecaps, especially defensively. We saw a couple miscues. We saw a couple errors, especially in the bottom of the sixth inning. That was just a tough one. All around for the Brewster Whitecaps, we saw a two-run score on a Michael Curry error in that inning as Michael Curry was behind the plate, but today it's going to be Mickey Gasper behind the plate for the Whitecaps. So, I think that was just kind of a exception to the rule. I think that was Shevchik just trying to get some guys some playing time that we might not necessarily be seeing them at those positions when the playoffs do come.
Yeah, we've seen Michael Curry primarily at designated hitter this year. That's where we'll actually see him again today, batting in the number 5 spot for the Whitecaps, getting the start at DH. And just to take you through that play again, last night in the bottom of the 6th inning, Harwich had already taken the lead on a Nick D'Alessandro ground rule double. They were leading the game 3-2, but then with runners on second and third, Kobe Vance, the Mariners' second baseman, hit a ground ball to Julian Infante at first, who tried to throw home to get the runner at home, slid under the tag, safe. Michael Curry didn't exactly like the call. He was debating it with the home plate umpire, and Vance, actually recognizing that, took off for second, recognizing that the ball's still in play. No one's called timeout. Curry's throw down to second got away, which allowed D'Alessandro to score and make it 5-2 Harwich in the bottom of the 6th, and then they'd eventually go on to win 7-4. But today, going with a different look as far as the lineup goes, and we'll get you right through that right now. Leading off for Brewster and playing third base is Kyle Datras out of the University of North Carolina. Chandler Taylor, just recently named the team offensive player of the year, bats second, and he's in right field. Batting third, switch-hitting catcher Mickey Gasper, who was named the team coach's captain award and the most valuable player coming off an all-star season. He's batting third and behind the plate. Batting fourth, Marty Costas getting the start in center field out of the University of Maryland. Michael Curry at designated hitter batting fifth. Darius Hill, left fielder out of West Virginia University, batting sixth. Julian Infante gets the start at first base. He's out of Vanderbilt. Batting eighth is Zach Gahagan playing second base out of UNC. And rounding out the Brewster order is A.J. Graffinino, the shortstop out of University of Washington, who just a few minutes ago was named the team's best defensive player of the season. And on the mound for the Brewster Whitecaps, making his first start of the season, is Matthew Beck out of LSU. This is a lineup that seems to be a lot of regulars in there while still mixing in guys like Darius Hill or Zach Hagan, who have been mainly reserved so far this year. What are you looking for against the Harwich Mariners, against Jacob Billingsley on the mound? Who's got to step up in this lineup?
Well, this is a big game for the Whitecaps. They want to go into the playoffs with a win. I know that it doesn't seem like that meaningful of a game, but it's important to go in on a high note when the stakes are so high in the playoffs, and it's do or die for this team. So it's guys like Chandler Taylor, Mickey Gasper, Marty Costas, who have been stepping up all year that really have to use this as a game and get ready. And then with guys like Nick Dunn, they have to kind of pick up the slack for someone like Nick Dunn, who has been producing for, until yesterday, 17-game hit streak. So this is just an important game for the Whitecaps. It might not seem like it on paper, but it truly is in terms of the playoff picture.
Yeah, you mentioned it more. Nick Dunn's 17-game hitting streak coming to an end yesterday. He did reach twice on walks, but was held to an 0-for-3 day. That's that 17-game hitting streak snapped. He is still batting .333 on the year, so don't make it seem like he's falling off the map. He's just getting a day off, getting some rest before this team heads into the first round. But you talk about trying to go into the playoffs on a winning streak. It would be big for this team. Yesterday was the first time they lost to these Harwich Mariners all season long. They were 4-0 against them before yesterday. So to go in, back with a win against Harwich today, you don't want to head into the playoffs losing 2 in a row. So today, like you mentioned, more would be a big win. And those Harwich Mariners, they're trying to fight for something as well, trying to end their season on a positive note. Let's take a look at their lineup. Leading off out of LSU, Antoine Duplantis. He gets a start in center field. Batting second and playing right field is Jake McCarthy. Batting third and playing shortstop, lefty Josh Smith out of LSU. Batting fourth and playing second base is Kobe Vance out of Alabama. Nick D'Alessandro, one of the Purdue Boilermakers, bats fifth. He's a designated hitter. Ryan Ogren plays third base. He bats sixth. Jordan Verdon bats seventh, and he gets to start at first base. Brad Debo is behind the plate at catcher, batting eighth. And rounding out the Harwich order is Andrew Moritz, batting ninth. We'll take a short break for the national anthem here at Stony Brook Field. When we come back, another edition of Brewster Whitecaps Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Annika Kalanick.
Back here in Brewster, just about ready to get things underway here between the Mariners and the Whitecaps. And like we talked about before the national anthem, Maura, Matthew Beck on the mound for the Whitecaps, making his first start of the season here in the Cape Cod League. Did make 2 starts for the LSU Tigers this season down in Baton Rouge, but he's only appeared out of the bullpen in 5 appearances so far for Coach Shevchik. Pitched 7 1/3 innings. He's struck out 5, has allowed 13 hits, and pitched to a 7.36 ERA. What are you looking for out of Matthew Beck?
Well, Matthew Beck has faced the Harwich Mariners twice. He came in relief on July 8th and July 16th, pitched just 1 inning in both of those games and gave up 2 runs. So this Harwich Mariners squad has had some success against Matthew Beck, so he'll have to be locked in today. And plus, this is a Mariners team that really wants to get the win.
Actually, his Cape League debut coming against these Harwich Mariners, as the first pitch from Beck right down the middle, strike 1 to Antoine Duplantis. So a battle of the Tigers here, Duplantis and Beck, teammates at LSU. As the 0-1 pitch misses outside, evens the count at 1-1. We can get you set on the Whitecaps defense in the outfield, moving from left to right. It's Hill, Costas, and Taylor. As 1-1 from Beck. This one hit sharply towards first. That's fair, and will roll towards the corner. Digging for second is Duplantis. As that one rolls out of play, Chandler Taylor throws up his arms, and that'll be a ground rule double for Antoine Duplantis. A great start here for the Harwich Mariners in the top of the first. That one just found a little bit too much of the plate. Duplantis, left-handed hitter, jumped all over it and ripped it past Julian Infante at first base. Get you set on the Whitecaps infield. It's Datris, Graffinino, Gahagan, and Infante moving from third to first. Mickey Gasper doing the catching, and like we talked about, Matthew Beck on the mound. And now his first pitch to Jake McCarthy, the number 2 hitter. Fastball that misses high and outside for ball 1. McCarthy from the University of Virginia, originally from Scranton, Pennsylvania, entering his junior year in Charlottesville. As Beck comes set, and the 1-0 pitch. Goes to the breaking ball and finds the outside part of the plate to even the count at 1-1. Small sample size for McCarthy, but he's off to a great start for the Mariners. Obviously, that season coming to a close today, so played well in his time in Harwich. As the 1-1 pitch, another breaking ball. This one misses downstairs. Count moves to 2-1. McCarthy at 346 on the season, 414 on base percentage, 577 slugging percentage. Does have a home run and 6 RBI in just 8 games, 26 at-bats. Beck checks the runner at second as Duplantis dances off the bag. And the 2-1 hit on the ground towards short, fielded on a hop by Graffinino. Throw on to first in time, but Duplantis moves to third on the play. So 1 down and a runner at third now for the Mariners. That'll bring up Josh Smith, another LSU Tiger. So Matt Beck facing 3 guys at the top of this Mariners order. 2 of them are his teammates. Team that lost in the College World Series Finals to the Florida Gators. And the first pitch, a breaking ball in for strike 1 to the left-handed hitting Smith. Smith, another Harwich Mariner at the top of this order, who's had a great season. 347 on the year, 447 on base percentage. As Beck misses high and outside to even the count at 1-1. Smith, not the biggest guy in the world, but makes plenty of contact, puts the ball in play. Has a sharp line drive swing. Drives it to all fields. As the 1-1 from Beck just misses high and outside, says home plate umpire Mike Collier. Now a 2-1 count as Duplantis leads off of third. Beck comes set, and the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball right on the outside corner, and the count knots at 2. Beck looking into Gasper behind the plate. Now comes set. And the 2-2 pitch. Goes back to the breaking ball. This one misses in the dirt. Good stop there by Mickey Gasper to keep the ball in front of him. And the count runs full on Josh Smith. Beck featuring that breaking ball pretty frequently here in the top of the first inning. And the payoff pitch. Goes to the fastball and misses high and outside, so Josh Smith works the walk, and now the Mariners have runners on the corners for the number 4 hitter, Kobe Vance. Vance, the second baseman out of the University of Alabama. Teammates with Whitecaps right fielder Chandler Taylor, also a Cape League All-Star I remember talking to Chandler before the All-Star game at Spillane Field, said one of the things he was happiest about, although Taylor was not an All-Star, he participated in the Cape League Home Run Derby, as the first pitch to Vance misses outside for ball one. Said one of the things that he was happiest about was having someone like Kobe Vance, one of his teammates from Tuscaloosa, there in Wareham to share the experience with. Was really happy to see Kobe be selected to the Eastern Division All-Star team. 1-0 count, runners on the corners. And the pitch from Beck. Fastball misses down and away, and the count out 2-0. Beck, a tall right-hander out of LSU, stands 6'7", 6'8", depends on who you ask, as the 2-0 pitch swung on and missed, fooled Vance there, and the count moves to 2-1. Originally from Alexandria, Louisiana, where he attended Alexandria High School, Beck was actually a two-sport standout. Was an all-state quarterback in high school as well, had offers to play quarterback in multiple Division I schools. As the fastball from the right-hander misses down and away, and the count moves to 3-1 on Vance. Senior year threw for over 3,300 yards on the gridiron, as well as 40 TDs. Made sure to bring his pigskin here to Brewster. Oftentimes before the game, you can see Beck and some of his teammates tossing it around as he misses down and away. So back-to-back walks for the Mariners, and now the bases are loaded here in the top of the first.
Yeah, tough day, or a tough start for Matthew Beck on the mound. 2 back-to-back walks, and he's just struggling to find control out there, something that has kind of been an issue for him this season in the limited time we've seen him play. But he's expected to go 3 innings by Jamie Shevchik, so he'll have to kind of figure it out there.
That'll bring up Nick D'Alessandro, the designated hitter out of Purdue, as Beck finds his own there right on the outside corner for strike one. That can be so big, just getting ahead in the count, throwing a strike early, and the pitcher really gains control as he goes to the breaking ball and gets past Gasper. Coming home is Duplantis. He'll score standing up. Smith moves to third and Vance to second, and early on here, the Mariners take a 1-0 lead on what no official scoring yet, but I would guess would be a wild pitch.
And that's big, as we saw yesterday 4 wild pitches by Brewster, and there's not as much room behind home plate as there is at Harwich, but still can be costly.
Beck paints the outside corner there with the fastball. Count now 1-2 on D'Alessandro. Now Harwich, a ton of room behind home plate at White House Field. Like you mentioned, more not as much here as Beck misses high and outside. Count now levels at 2 to D'Alessandro. And also here in Brewster, where the backstop is just a chain link fence, it won't carry him off the wall as much as a breaking ball from Beck. D'Alessandro just gets a piece of it and stays alive. You go to a place like Doran Park in Bourne or McKeon Park in Hyannis, where it's a brick backstop. Ball sometimes will hit the wall and immediately bounce back, making it a lot easier and holding runners on. Breaking ball hit softly on the ground towards second, fielded by Gahagan, throw on to first in time to get the speedy D'Alessandro, but coming in to score is Josh Smith, and the Mariners take an early 2-0 lead. Vance able to move to third on the play. And that'll bring up Ryan Ogren, the third baseman for the Mariners. 2-0 the score early on. 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Mariners lead the Whitecaps. As the first pitch from Beck, fastball on the outside corner for strike one. Ogren out of Elon University in North Carolina, going into his junior year there. As the breaking ball from Beck misses down and away, and the count evens at 1-1. Ogren's appeared in 26 games so far this season for the Mariners. And he lines a 1-1 breaking ball over the head of Gahagan and into right field. Scoring easily is Vance. Getting to it is Chandler Taylor. And it's an RBI single for Ryan Ogren, and it's now 3-1 Mariners here in the first.
And that's where those walks will come back to haunt you, as both those guys have now scored. Just a tough start to this game, as one of the things Jamie Shevchuk always says is he hates playing from behind. He always wants to get out to an early lead, and right now they're down 3-0, the Brewster Whitecaps.
Not the start that Matthew Beck or Coach Shevchuk had hoped for, that's for sure. As Jordan Verdon now in the batter's box on the left side looks at a first pitch strike from Matthew Beck. Verdon from San Diego State, one of the Aztecs. As Beck ready, and the 0-1 fastball cut on and missed. Blew it right past him there for strike two, so Beck quickly had no balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing out to left center field today here at Stony Brook Field, which is typical from what we've seen this year. As Verdon chases the high fastball, and they appeal down to Tom Ryberg. Third base umpire says he went around, so Verdon down swinging. It's Beck's first strikeout, and that'll end the inning. But the Mariners get 3 runs. It comes on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 on. We've played half an inning here at Stony Brook Field. Mariners 3, Whitecaps nothing. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Moving to the bottom of the first inning here in Brewster, it's Mariners 3. The Whitecaps coming to bat. They'll face Jacob Billingsley, right-hander out of Mississippi State University, making his 6th start of the season for the Mariners. He's pitched well in his first 5. A 2.6 ERA in 27 2/3. Hasn't exactly been rewarded with wins, though. Just 1-3 on the year in those 5 starts. Struck out 25 in those 27 2/3. And walked 14, and his first pitch to Kyle Datris misses down and away for ball 1. Datris, the leadoff man for this Whitecaps team today. Third baseman out of the University of North Carolina. Looks at a 1-0 fastball from Billingsley that misses downstairs. 2-0 now the count to Datris. Billingsley, not the most intimidating pitcher you've ever seen on the mound. Stands just 6'1". Listed at 190 pounds as he misses high and inside. Now 3-0 on Datris. Going into his senior year with the Bulldogs. And the 3-0 pitch to Datris. This one misses upstairs, so 4 pitches in, and Kyle Datris works a leadoff walk for the Whitecaps. It's been something Kyle Datris has excelled at this year for Brewster, really working counts. Came into this game with a .351 on-base percentage, 20 walks on the season. As that'll bring up now Chandler Taylor, the number 2 hitter and right fielder today for the Whitecaps. The team's Offensive Player of the Year, as awarded by the Brewster Whitecaps before today's game, as Billingsley throws over to first base to check on Datris, who gets back safely. Datris being held on by Verdon over there at first base. Billingsley set. And the first pitch to Taylor. Big swing there from the left-handed slugger, but gets nothing as the count now 0-1. Just swung through a fastball there from Billingsley. Taylor this season batting .227 on the year, .375 on base percentage, .509 slugging in 36 games. Tied for the Cape League lead with 9 home runs. As he looks at a fastball on the inside corner from Billingsley for strike 2. Taylor, originally from Montgomery, Alabama, decided to play his college ball at the University of Alabama, just a little bit west in Tuscaloosa. As Billingsley comes set, and the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses high, now 1-2 on Taylor. Taylor had been working a lot this season with assistant coaches Tommy Weber and Jason Kanzler on trying to go the opposite way more, becoming more of a complete hitter rather than a big uppercut swinging lefty who just kind of sells out for power, because he's got so much strength, so much just raw power in him. As he swings through the outside fastball there, goes down swinging for out number 1. Billingsley picks up his first K, and there's one down here in the top of the first with Mickey Gasper coming to the plate.
Well, that's 4 consecutive strikeouts for Chandler Taylor, as he had 3 to end the game yesterday against Harwich. So struggling a little bit at the plate is Chandler Taylor.
It's always been a bit of swing and miss to Chandler's game, but when he makes contact, boy, can he drive it. Again, tied for the Cape League lead with 9 home runs. As the first pitch now to Mickey Gasper. Fastball in the outside corner for strike 1. Gasper, the recipient of 2 awards before today's game from the Whitecaps, the team MVP and the coach's captain award. Also received the John Claffey Award from the league as the most outstanding player from New England. As Gasper is granted time there, and Billingsley actually delivered the pitch, but time had already been granted. That one missed way upstairs into the backstop, but better to release the ball than risk injury by trying to hold on to it. 0-1 the count, 1 down, bottom of the first inning. 3-0 Mariners lead the Whitecaps. As Gasper lifts this one in the air to shallow left field. Charging is Moritz, and he'll make the play just into fair territory for out number 2. Gasper goes down on the shallow fly ball. That'll bring up Marty Costas, the center fielder today for the Whitecaps. Out of the University of Maryland, someone who's been really swinging a hot bat as of late. Batting .300 on the season, 5 home runs, 25 RBI. If you go back just to July 20th, he's batting .197 on the year, all the way up to .300, and had a 2-run single yesterday at White House Field. As he looks at a first pitch fastball from Billingsley that misses high and outside for ball 1. Costas, originally from Baltimore, Maryland, decided to move south down I-95 and plays college ball in College Park for the Terrapins. As a breaking ball from Billingsley finds the zone to even the count at 1-1. Really just had a great all-around year for Maryland this year. Batted .322, 77 hits, 13 home runs, 46 RBI. As Billingsley throws over to first, but Datris dives back safely. That was good for first team All Big Ten honors. Led the team actually in hits, home runs, and walks. Then second on the team in runs, RBI, and slugging percentage. Billingsley set, and the 1-1 pitch. This one lifted in the air into shallow right field. Moving back is the second baseman Vance, battling the sun. And he puts it away for out number 3. So the Whitecaps get a leadoff walk, but then are set down in order after that by Jacob Billingsley. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. We've played an inning here at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. Mariners lead the Whitecaps 3-0. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV channel 99 and streaming live on YouTube. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Mariners in the top of the second inning against Matthew Beck, Aiden Doyle, and Morris Sheridan here on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, streaming live on YouTube. As the number 8 hitter Brad Debo fouls off the first pitch from Matthew Beck, right back into the backstop for strike one. Debo getting the start behind the plate today for the Mariners. Catcher, as he lifts this one towards Infante, chopped, fields it, and flips to a covering Beck for out number one. So quickly one down here in the top of the second inning. Didn't even get a chance to say where Debo goes to school. It was actually NC State, one of the Wolfpack down there in Raleigh. But now the number 9 hitter, Andrew Moritz, the left fielder out of UNC Greensboro, sticking with the Tar Heel State theme here, as Debo and Moritz both play their college ball in North Carolina. First pitch from Beck right down the heart of the plate for strike one. Moritz, a left-handed hitting outfielder, getting the start in left field today for Steve Englert's squad. He's breaking ball there from Beck, way out in front of it, but just fouls it off down the first base line. So quickly 0-2 on the Harwich left fielder. 3-0 the score. Harwich got 3 in the top of the first inning on a pair of hits and a pair of walks from Matthew Beck. 0-2 pitch looped into left field, moving in as the left fielder Hill, and he puts it away for out number 2. So quickly 2 down here in the top of the second inning. Beck finding a little bit more success here than he did in the top of the first, and now it's back to the top of the order for the Mariners as Antoine Duplantis steps in. Center fielder out of LSU, doubled in his first at-bat, just ripped one down the first base line past Julian Infante and into right field. And the first pitch from Beck, a fastball that misses high and outside for ball one. Duplantis just had a great year this year for LSU, as a fastball from Beck misses above the letters once again, now 2-0. Batted .316 in 71 games for the Tigers, hit 2 home runs, 61 RBI, which was second on the team. As he lifts this one in the air towards third base, moving into foul territory is Kyle Datras, and he puts it away for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning from Matthew Beck, completely different from his first frame. And after 1.5, it's still 3-0 Mariners here at Stony Brook Field. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and as always, streaming live on YouTube. Bottom of the second inning here at Stony Brook Field in Brewster, 3-0. The Mariners lead the Brewster Whitecaps. Aidan Doyle alongside Morris Sheridan here on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99. And as always on YouTube, Michael Curry, Darius Hill, Julian Infante due up for the Whitecaps against Jacob Billingsley. Whitecaps worked a leadoff walk in the bottom of the first, but then went down in order after that as Billingsley held them scoreless. As the first pitch to Curry misses down and away for ball one. Curry, the designated hitter out of the University of Georgia, originally from Murphy, North Carolina, but then moved to Georgia as he swings through a fastball there to even the count at 1-1. Moved to Georgia to play his high school ball, be in a little bit more of a athletically centered area. As the 1-1 pitch, breaking ball misses down and away. Curry able to check his swing and the count out 2-1. Curry played his high school ball at Gainesville, Georgia, at Gainesville High School in Gainesville, Georgia. As the 2-1 pitch misses high. Now 3-1. Actually had math class with Deshaun Watson, former quarterback for the Clemson Tigers and first-round pick of the Houston Texans this past NFL draft. Called him just a really humble guy, which I think seems to be the general consensus about Watson. As Curry, for the second consecutive inning, the Whitecaps work a leadoff walk as Curry takes the fastball high and outside. And now Darius Hill stepping in for the Whitecaps with a man aboard.
Well, it seems like all season, working walks is how Brewster has found their way back into games, and that's what they're going to need to do here. That's kind of their MO. That's how they roll, so to speak, as the Brewster Whitecaps. So if they want to get back into this game down 3 runs, they're going to take what they can get, and Michael Curry with some good plate discipline there.
It's been the MO for Curry, too, all year. .444 on base percentage, leads the team. As the first pitch to Hill misses down and in for ball one. And you mentioned it being the MO of the team. That's really the case. Brewster leads the Cape League with 199 walks. Well, actually now 201. So they've crossed the 200 mark. Datris's leadoff walk in the first inning was their 200th of the season. Second place in the Cape League, Chatham with 161. So 40 more than the second place team. And the difference between second and last place, so 10th, is only 43. So they're 40th, or 40 ahead of second place, and second place is only 43 ahead of last place. As the 1-0 fastball from Billingsley misses downstairs for ball two. So Billingsley having a bit of trouble finding the zone here in the bottom of the second inning. Hill getting the start in left field today for the Whitecaps. Heading the count, 2 balls, no strikes. As he takes a big cut at this one, lifts it in the air, foul down the third base side and out of play. 2-1 now the count. Hill out of West Virginia University, originally from Dallas, Texas, though. Has his family in attendance here today at Stony Brook Field. It's an all Big 12 honorable mention this year for the Mountaineers. Played 61 games and batted .307 as he lifts this one up the middle. Diving is the second baseman Vance, and he's able to make the play. A heck of a play there by Kobe Vance as he slid past second base head first and was able to catch the ball on the fly for out number 1.
Well, that is one of the reasons that Kobe Vance was an all-star this year. Yes, he had 20 RBIs on the season. He's good offensively, but defensively, he is one of the best players in the Cape League, and he's showing it today. He had an error last night. A bit of an uncharacteristic game for him, but that is exactly the type of play that makes Kobe Vance the second baseman that he is.
Not the biggest guy in the world, not the strongest guy in the world, but makes contact and plays great defense. As Julian Infante steps in now, first pitch a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Infante getting the start at first base today for the Whitecaps out of Vanderbilt University. The second-year Whitecaps struggled a bit last year for Brewster, about at .205 in 25 games, 2 home runs, 9 RBI. Righty-righty matchup as Billingsley's set and the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses high and outside and evens the count at 1-1. Infante this year, 250 in 21 games. That's his average. 301 on base percentage, 342 slugging. Does have a home run on the year, as the fastball from Billingsley misses off the plate and the count moves to 2-1. Infante joined the Whitecaps on July 2nd after participating in the College Home Run Derby at TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha. Really just had an all-around fantastic year for the Commodores this season, as he swings through a fastball there to even the count at 2-2. Was second on the team in batting average with a .315 mark. Played in all 62 games for the Commodores. Had 11 home runs, 66 RBI, 130 total bases, which was second on the team, and a .387 on base percentage. 2-2 the count, 1 out, as Infante just gets a piece of that one in and out of the catcher Debo's mitt, and Infante stays alive. Count remains 2-2. Infante, originally from Miami, Florida, though his family hails from Cuba. Both of his parents were born on the island. Favorite baseball player, Josh Donaldson, third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays. As Infante swings through the fastball there from Billingsley, he goes down swinging for out number 2. So once again, Whitecaps get a leadoff walk, and so far this inning haven't been able to do anything with it. Zach Hagen will take his turn now, the number 8 hitter in this Whitecaps order. Second baseman out of UNC. 2 outs, runner on first for the Whitecaps. Bottom of the second inning, Harwich leads this one 3-0. Righty-righty matchup as Billingsley set. And the first pitch. This one lined to the left center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Rounding second is Curry. He's moving to third, and he'll get there safely. Gahagan with a big turnaround first base, but he'll retreat back to the bag. And a 2-out single from Zach Gahagan, so now runners on the corners for A.J. Graffinino.
Well, we've kind of seen Zach Gahagan come alive in the past couple of games that he's been in. I remember at Bourne he had a hit or two, and then he got his first RBI a couple of days ago and then doubled that with another one here at Stony Brook Field. So Zach Gahagan was struggling a lot this year, but it seems like he's sort of making it work towards the end of the season. Probably good news for this Whitecaps team, as he'll probably be a reserve that Jamie Shevchik will keep in mind as the playoffs approach.
Always good to have someone swinging a hot bat available in a big spot, maybe late in the game. As the first pitch now to Graffinino misses down and in for ball 1. Good stop there by Debo to hold Curry at third. Graffinino, left-handed hitting shortstop out of the University of Washington, batting .244 in 34 games. Another second-year Whitecap like Infante. As Billingsley now throws over to first, but Gahagan gets back safely. Graffinino did have a home run last year for the Whitecaps. In 30 games, had 1 dinger and 10 RBI. But in 2 seasons for the Huskies, has yet to hit a college home run. As he lines this one towards short. Top hop there for Smith, and it is into center field. Scoring is Michael Curry. Moving to second is Zach Gahagan. And A.J. Graffinino reaches, and the Whitecaps are on the board. It's now 3-1.
Well, we'll see how that was scored. It was a tough hop there. It was scored a hit, and it was a very tough hop, and it kind of bounced off his chest, as you can see on our screen. But we've seen that happen. We saw that happen yesterday to Harwich a couple of times. They also made a couple errors, and that one wasn't an error, just a bit of an unlucky bounce there for Harwich. But turns out in favor of the Whitecaps, as they're trying to cut into this now 2-run lead.
So now a 3-1 ball game, and it's back to the top of the order for the Brewster Whitecaps. Kyle Datras stepping in from the right side. Runners on first and second for Brewster. 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Datras worked a walk in his first plate appearance as Billingsley set, checks the runner at second. And the first pitch to the Brewster third baseman misses inside for ball 1. Datris, one of two UNC Tar Heels on this Brewster team, along with Zach Hagen, who's at second base. And the 1-0 pitch from Billingsley. Another fastball that misses high for ball 2. So Kyle Datris so far today has seen 6 pitches, all of them balls. Worked a 4-pitch walk in his first plate appearance, and now ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Billingsley ready. 2-0 the count, 2 outs. Gehagen dancing off second, and the pitch. Breaking ball, this one finds the zone, so Kyle Datris finally sees a strike here at Stony Brook Field today. Count now 2-1. Datris really drove in a lot of runs this year for the Tar Heels. Second on the team with 51 RBI, did have 7 home runs. Hit his first one of the season right here at Stony Brook Field just a couple of days ago. As a 2-1 now from Billingsley, misses downstairs. Now 3-1 on Datris. Got a chance to drive in another run here with Gehagen in scoring position. Graffinino leading off of first. Righty-righty matchup. Billingsley ready. And the 3-1 pitch. Fastball misses inside. Kyle Datris with his second walk of the ball game. The 202nd of the Brewster Whitecaps season. And now the bases are loaded for Chandler Taylor, a man certainly capable of changing this game with one swing of the bat.
And the last time Billingsley was on the mound against this Brewster Whitecaps team, this was exactly kind of the same situation he got himself in. Just walked a lot of guys, 5 walks in that game, and just as many hits, only 5 hits for the Whitecaps. So, and Brewster won that game 7-6. So this is how Brewster beats Jacob Billingsley. They've done it before, and it seems like that's how they're doing it today.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Chandler Taylor at the dish. Struck out swinging in his first at-bat. And the first pitch. Breaking ball cut on and missed there by Taylor for strike 1. Gehagen at third, Graffinino at second, Datris at first. Billingsley looking into his catcher, Debo. Now set. And the 0-1 pitch. Goes back to that breaking ball, and Taylor swings over it, so 0-2 now the count. Back-to-back off-speed pitches from the righty out of Mississippi State. That fooled Taylor downstairs. What I was saying in Taylor's first at-bat is that primarily his goal this season in Brewster was trying to become a more complete hitter, using all fields, going to left, left center a little bit more. We've seen him hit 2 opposite field home runs in his last couple of weeks. As Billingsley misses inside with a fastball, just misses off the inside corner, says home plate umpire Mike Collier. And the count now 1-2. Billingsley looking into Debo. Now he's ready. And the 1-2 pitch. Another fastball that misses inside, and the count levels at 2-2. 2s across the board here at Stony Brook Field. 2 balls, 2 out, or 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3 runners on, bases juiced for Chandler Taylor as the wind blows out to center field here at Stony Brook Field. And now Taylor will call time as Billingsley taking his time out on the mound, going through the signs with Brad Debo. Taylor, arguably the most powerful hitter on this Whitecaps team. 9 home runs, tied for the Cape League lead this season. As a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball downstairs. Taylor lays off this one, and the count runs full. No place to put Taylor with the bases loaded. So Billingsley's got to give him something to hit here. Taylor, a guy who came to the Cape this summer with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Was just a temporary player at the beginning of the season for Brewster. Despite being 3rd in the SEC in home runs this past season for the Crimson Tide. And the payoff pitch. Misses inside. Chandler Taylor, after falling behind 0-2, battles all the way back and works a walk That'll score Zach Hagen, and now it's just a one-run game. Bases still loaded for Mickey Gasper.
And I know we always talk about how Chandler Taylor can hit the long ball, but he does walk a lot. In fact, second on the team, only to the guy up to the plate right now. Mickey Gasper has 28, and now with that walk, Chandler Taylor has 25 on the year. He can sure hit the ball, but he does have a lot of plate discipline when necessary.
And now the Harwich pitching coach will jog out to the mound, have a chat with his right-hander. So after working a rather quick first inning, just the leadoff walk to Datris, Brewster making them work a lot more here in the second. They've worked 3 walks this inning. One by Curry to start the frame off. And now back-to-back walks by Datris and Taylor. Taylor's with the bases loaded. That brought home Hagen. So a whole new ball game. Just 3-2 the score. 1-run lead for the Mariners. As now Debo retreats back to behind home plate. Pitching coach back to the Mariners dugout. Mickey Gasper digging into the box. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Billingsley. Gasper flew out to left field his first at-bat. And the first pitch. Breaking ball gets away from Debo. Coming home is Graffinino. He'll score standing up, and it's a tie ball game. A.J. Graffinino comes home on the wild pitch. And we're all knotted at 3 here at Stony Brook Field.
Well, the tables have turned a little bit today. Yesterday it was Harwich kind of scoring off of the mistakes of Brewster, and today it's kind of the other way around. We just saw Zach Hagen come on a worked walk, bases loaded walk from Chandler Taylor, and then a wild pitch tied this game up. So this is an interesting game for the Brewster Whitecaps, but they'll take it. And now it's might as well be 0-0.
3-3 the score, each team with 2 hits. And a 1-0 count on Mickey Gasper. Datris was able to move to third, Taylor to second on the wild pitch. So 2 runners in scoring position for the Bryant catcher. As a breaking ball from Billingsley misses high and inside, now 2-0 the count. Count. Gasper ready. And the pitch. Fastball right on the lower part of the zone. Now 2-1. Good location there by Billingsley to find the zone. As Gasper calls time. Fixes his batting gloves a bit and digs back in from the left side. Just a picture-perfect day here in Brewster for the regular season finale. Billingsley set. And the 2-1 pitch. This one misses down and away. It's now 3-1 on Gasper. First base is open, but a walk would bring up the number 4 hitter, Marty Costas, and the way he's been swinging the bat lately, I don't think that's something the Mariners are very interested in. Especially remembering what Marty Costas did to them the last time these two teams faced off here at Stony Brook Field. 3-1 the count and the pitch. This one lined to the right center field. That'll get down and roll into the gap. Scoring easily is Datris. Taylor being waved home. He'll score this one all the way to the fence. Mickey Gasper chugging around second. He's digging for third. And the throw will be cut off. Mickey Gasper with a stand-up triple. And the Whitecaps take a 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the second. A 5-run frame for the Whitecaps. And it's 5-3 Brewster.
Well, that's why he was the Whitecaps MVP. That's his first triple of the year. He is a catcher, not a ton of speed to Mickey Gasper, but with those 2 runs scoring, that's also 30 RBIs on the year for Mickey Gasper. So that is why Coach Jamie Shevchik always raves about him, because he comes up in big situations, and now his team is up 2 runs. As we actually saw 3 runs come across with Mickey Gasper at bat as A.J. Graffinino came across on a wild pitch.
And Mickey was tied for second coming into today's game in the Cape League RBI standings, or leaderboard, as Marty Costas swings through a first pitch fastball from Billingsley for strike 1. Now Mickey in sole possession of second place, trailing only Steven Scott out of Orleans, well actually out of Vanderbilt, but of the Orleans Firebirds, who has 33. 0-1 the count on Costas. And the pitch. Fastball misses downstairs. Count evens at 1-1. One count. Billingsley set in the righty-righty matchup, and the pitch. Breaking ball check swing from Costas. He went around, says home plate umpire Mike Collier. And the count now 1-2. That one missed down and inside, but Costas unable to check his swing. Runner at third for the Whitecaps. It's Mickey Gasper. Billingsley set. 1-2 count. And the breaking ball misses down and away. Good job by Costas to lay off that pitch. Count levels at 2-2. And it just seems like earlier in the season that may have been a pitch that Marty Costas chased down and away. He's really honed his at-bats. Had a more disciplined approach at the plate. I think that's more even just getting a bit more comfortable up here on the Cape. As the 2-2's lifted in the air down the right field line, but slicing foul and out of play. So Costas stays alive, and the count stays 2-2. You saw Marty got off to a bit of a rough start. Struck out a lot. We knew he had the potential, obviously coming off a great year at Maryland, and you just saw it when he drove a baseball. It was unlike anything you saw in the league. Had a knack for hitting clutch home runs, including one against these Harwich Mariners in that incredible 11-10 victory. As Billingsley misses again, down and away with a breaking ball, so the count runs full on Costas, and that's another one where Costas just showing off that great eye. He had it this year at Maryland. Had 34 walks, which led the Terrapins team. Full count, 2 outs, runner at third for the Whitecaps. And the payoff pitch. This one lifted in the air into shallow right field. Charging is the right fielder McCarthy, battling the sun, and he puts it away for out number 3. But the Whitecaps with a big 5-run inning. The big blow, Mickey Gasper's 2-run triple to right center field. Never seen Mickey run as fast as he did there. They get 5 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 on after 2 innings at Stony Brook Field. It's 5-3, Whitecaps on top of the Mariners. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on the Brewster Whitecaps, or on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Top of the 3rd inning here in Brewster. 5-3 the score. Whitecaps lead the Mariners at Stony Brook Field. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Mariners against Matthew Beck, who's into his 3rd inning of work. First pitch to Jake McCarthy, lined into left center field. That'll get down for a base hit. A big turn, and now he's digging for second. The throw from Marty Costas is not in time, as Jake McCarthy with a leadoff double for the Mariners. And just like that, after working a 1-2-3 top of the second, Beck allows a leadoff double to start things off in the third, and the Mariners have a runner in scoring position. Josh Smith, the Harwich shortstop, digging in now from the left side. Worked a leadoff walk in his first plate appearance. And the first pitch from Beck finds the outside part of the plate for strike one. Beck comes set, and the 0-1 pitch. This one lifted high in the air out towards right center. On the run is Marty Costas. He's back. He's at the wall, and that ball is gone. A home run for Josh Smith. LSU Tiger beats LSU Tiger. And it is all tied up at 5 again on the 2-run shot from the Harwich shortstop.
And that's Josh Smith's second home run of the year. He's only hit 2 in the Cape League so far, or I guess this is the last game, so probably the last one we'll see. Who even knows? It's Cape League baseball, but that is just very costly for the Brewster Whitecaps. They just had a huge 5th inning. They were getting hot, and something like that can just kind of stifle a comeback.
That one lifted high in the air towards right center, and the wind here blowing out towards center field carried a bit. And now Kobe Vance digging in from the right side. As Beck deals, this one misses inside. Count now 2-0 on Vance as Beck missed inside with his first pitch as well. Beck ready, 2-0 fastball, fouled off over the first base dugout and out of play. Count now 2-1. Vance walked in his first plate appearance and would come around to score on the Ryan Ogren RBI single. Beck through the windup and the 2-1 pitch. Fastball, this one finds the zone and the count levels at 2-2. 2-2 on its way. Breaking ball hit sharply on the ground, backhanded by Datris. Long throw onto first, in time for out number 1. A nice play by Kyle Datris at first base. Continues to show off his great glove at the hot corner, and there's a 1 down here in the top of the third.
Wearing number 12 for the Mariners from the Boilermakers of Purdue University, DH Nick D'Alessandro.
Now Nick D'Alessandro, the Harwich designated hitter, digging in from the right side. He's 0 for 1 as he goes back to second base, and it's off the glove of a diving Zach Gahagan. He recovers, but not in time as D'Alessandro's able to beat it out. Gahagan ranged to his left there, leapt for it, and it went off of the tip of his glove, dove into the hole between first and second, knocked it down, but wasn't able to recover in time as D'Alessandro reaches on what is scored a hit and is what should be scored a hit.
Absolutely. That was a hard hit baseball, and if he had made that catch, it would have been a very nice play, and we would have seen 2 nice plays as we saw Kobe Vance make a similar kind of catch at second for the Mariners, but Zach Hagan just unable to hold on to that ball.
And a first pitch, a fastball right on the inside corner to Ryan Ogren. Now in for strike 1. Ogren had an RBI single in his first at-bat. Oh, 0-1 the count as Beck throws over to first base to check on D'Alessandro, who gets back in time. Oh, 0-1 count, 1 out, tie game 5-5 the score here at Stony Brook Field as the fastball from Beck runs inside and misses to even the count at 1-1. Beck features primarily that 2-seam fastball. Runs in on the righties, out to the lefties. Head coach at LSU said he has as much upside as any LSU freshman. As runner goes, but this one fouled off over the first base dugout, out of play, and the count now 1-2. Says he has as much upside as any LSU freshman. This was obviously before this season with the Tigers. With a fastball that sits primarily around 90 miles an hour, features that 2-seamer, as well as a curveball that has a lot of 12-6 action. Does have a changeup, but doesn't mix it in a whole lot, as he works primarily out of the bullpen. Goes to that looping curveball there, but this one misses down and away. And the count evens at 2-2. 2-2 the count. Beck comes set. Runner goes. And another hit and run as Ogren fouls this one off over the first base side. So the second time Steve Englert has sent the runners in motion and given Ogren the green light. And the second time he's fouled it off over the first base dugout. Righty-righty matchup as Beck comes set. 2-2 the count, 1 out. Fastball, Ogren able to check his swing. The appeal down to the first base umpire Larry Rosenberg says he did not go. And the count now full.
I feel like Mickey Gasper always beats the umps over to check at first to see if there's a check swing. It seems like he's just always on top of that, and that's just what makes Mickey Gasper a leader.
Runner goes as Ogren fouls this one off back into the backstop, so continues to stay alive. Yeah, Mickey's always on top of things. Never has to be reminded by a coach or another player out in the field saying, hey, appeal down to first base, check that swing. He's always the first one to recognize that anything close, he's asking the one of the base umpire saying, hey, did he go, did he not? I mean, there's no penalty for him not to, so it can't hurt. As a full count now to Ogren. Back from the stretch, and the payoff pitch. This one skips home, and Ryan Ogren works a walk, reaches base for the second time today, and now it's runners on first and second for the Mariners with 1 down. And now Austin Straub, the Whitecaps pitching coach, will walk out to the mound. Mickey Gasper joining him on top of the bump, having a chat with the right-hander out of LSU, Matthew Beck. It's been a little bit of an inconsistent outing for Matthew Beck. Struggled in the first inning. A lot of pair of hits, had a couple of walks. And had a 1-2-3 second inning, just working quickly, throwing strikes, limiting hard contact. And then allowed the leadoff double to McCarthy, then the home run to Smith here in the third before getting advanced to ground out. But even that one was a hard hit ball down the third base line where Datrich just made a nice backhanded stab and made the throw on the first base. Well, Straub's finished chatting with his right-hander. Now we'll retreat back to the Whitecaps dugout as Jordan Verdon digs in from the left side. He's 0 for 1, struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Beck set, and the first pitch. Fastball that misses high and outside for ball 1. Beck goes back to that fastball and finds the inside corner to even the count at 1-1. For Beck, it's never been a question of the stuff. He's about as physically imposing a pitcher as you're going to find. Sits in the low 90s with that fastball. He's got a very sharp breaking ball. It's just a matter of controlling it as this one's hit on the ground towards second. Possible double play. Gehagen in time to second. Throw on to first. Not in time, says Larry Rosenberg. Verdon was able to beat it out, so they get the force out at second. D'Alessandro able to move to third. And Verdon advances to first on the fielder's choice. So now it's runners at the corners and 2 outs for Brad Debo, the number 8 hitter in this Mariners lineup.
Yeah, well, that throw from Zach Gehagen over at second didn't have a lot of zip to it, so it didn't quite beat the runner. But a close call there would have been a nice double play, as in the script that Jamie Shevchik laid out, this is going to be the last out for Matthew Beck.
Yeah, Beck only scripted to go 3 innings today before being relieved by Connor McNamara. As now the first pitch to Debo hit right back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. That'll score D'Alessandro from third. Moving to second is Verdon, and it's an RBI single for Brad Debo. And the Mariners take a 6-5 lead here with a 3-run top of the third. A lot of scoring early on here in this regular season finale between the Mariners and the Whitecaps.
Yeah, we've already seen 11 runs scored in this game. We're already an hour in and only in the top of the third inning.
Now the first pitch to the number 9 hitter, Andrew Moritz, a fastball that misses off the plate for ball 1. Moritz, the left fielder for the Mariners. 0 for 1 today. Flew out to left field in his first at-bat. Heading the count 1 ball and no strikes here. As the pitch from Beck. This one misses upstairs. 2-0 now the count on the Mariners left fielder. Beck working from the stretch. Comes set and deals a 2-0 fastball, then misses off the plate. Now 3-0. So Beck continuing to have trouble with his command here in the top of the third. 3 balls, no strikes. Moritz taking all the way, looks at a fastball from Beck that finds the inside part of the plate. Now 3-1. You talked about the time here today, Maura. It's 5:03 in the evening. Definitely a slow-paced game so far as Beck misses down and in with a fastball. And that's another walk for the Mariners, and that loads the bases for the leadoff man, Antoine Duplantis. It's the third walk of the ball game. Or excuse me, the fourth walk of the ball game allowed by Beck. As now Jamie Shevchik will walk out to the mound, and it looks like he's going to go to the bullpen. We believe it's going to be Connor McNamara, but we'll confirm that when we come back here on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99. Brewster goes to the bullpen. As the new pitcher comes in and warms up, we'll take a short break. 6-5 the score here. Mariners lead the Whitecaps. Keep it right here. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Well, it is Connor McNamara who takes over on the mound for the Brewster Whitecaps here with 2 outs in the top of the third inning. He inherits not exactly an enviable situation. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Antoine Duplantis, the leadoff man, steps in and swings through a first pitch breaking ball from McNamara for strike 1. McNamara from Marist, one of the Red Foxes, originally from Scarsdale, New York. And the count 0-1 as a fastball there from the right-hander skips home, and the count evens at 1-1. McNamara's appeared in 2 games so far for the Whitecaps. Thrown 2 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, struck out 3 though, so he's shown some swing and miss stuff. As the 1-1 pitch, fastball tails away from the left-hander for ball 2.
Yeah, as you'll remember in Wareham, when the Whitecaps had a chance to clinch the playoffs, it was actually Beck who came in for McNamara with 1 out to kind of get out of a tough situation with the bases loaded. So tables turned a little bit here.
2-1 pitch driven to right field. Going back is Taylor, now moving to his right a bit, and he puts it away for out number 3. But a 3-run frame for the Mariners. They retake the lead at 6-5. Harwich after 2.5 here at Stony Brook Field. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball here on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Pitching change for the Mariners as we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Jacob Billingsley's day is done. He's replaced by Christopher Gow, the right-hander out of Jacksonville University. He's appeared in 8 games thus far for the Mariners. This will be his 9th and final appearance. As the first pitch to Michael Curry fouled back into the netting behind home plate. 0-1 now the count. Curry in his first plate appearance had a lead-off walk in the bottom of the 2nd that led to a 5-run frame for the Whitecaps. 6-5 the score. Mariners lead Brewster here at Stony Brook Field. As the 0-1 pitch from Gow, a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Now 0-2 on Curry. Gow looking into Brad Debo, now through the windup and the 0-2 pitch. Fastball, this one skips home, and the count now 1-2. Gow going into his junior year at Jacksonville, has faced these Brewster Whitecaps before, took the loss back on July 5th when the Whitecaps defeated the Mariners 7-5 here at Stony Brook Field. As Curry fouls this one off down the first base line, giving chase is Verdon, but he'll run out of room as this one falls out of play, and the count remains 1-2. In that outing, Gow went 4 innings, gave up 6 earned runs, 9 hits, 1 walk. Did strike out 6, but was a little bit too prone to the Whitecaps putting the ball in play, something they did extremely well in the 2nd inning, scoring 5 runs on 3 hits. Means we can also give you the final line on Jacob Billingsley. He went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 5 earned runs, as Curry lifts a breaking ball into right field. Moving towards the line is Jake McCarthy, battling the sun, and he puts it away for out number 1. Michael Curry ran all the way down the first base line with the bat in his left hand there. Never dropped the bat. And now retreats back towards the dugout with it in his hand. And he'll take it himself to the dugout.
Got to get some lessons from Chandler Taylor on how to bat flip.
as Darius Hill now steps in from the left side. 1 out, bottom of the third inning. Hill 0 for 1 today. First pitch swinging, lifts this one in the air to shallow left field, moving in his Moritz. And he puts it away for out number 2, so a very quick 2 outs here for Christopher Gow. And there's 2 away in the bottom of the third. A couple of fly balls for the Whitecaps to start off this frame, as Julian Infante now digs in from the right side. And because McNamara got the final out there in the top of the third inning, got Duplantis to fly out to right field, we can also give you the final line on Matt Beck. Went just 2 2/3 innings, as the fastball from Gow misses down and in to Infante for ball 1. Surrendered 6 hits, 6 earned runs, walked 4 and struck out just 1. The only strikeout coming to end the top of the first inning got Jordan Verdon swinging, as Infante swings through a fastball there to even the count at 1-1. Infante, a strikeout victim, his first at-bat. Struck out swinging against Billingsley. As the 1-1 pitch, this one driven out to right center field. Going back is McCarthy. He's at the track, he's at the wall, and he makes the grab on the warning track. Julian Infante drove that one out to right center field, but McCarthy was able to run it down. So 3 fly ball outs for the Whitecaps in the bottom of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 6-5 still the score here in Brewster. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube.
We welcome you back to Stony Brook Field, where Brewster is trailing Harwich 6-5. Well, it's the last day of the season here on the Cape, and we still don't know who the Whitecaps are going to be playing in the Cape League playoffs starting on Saturday. That's because Brewster and Chatham are neck and neck in the Cape League standings, and the tiebreaker situation is pretty darn messy. See, usually it's head-to-head record that will separate teams like this, but the head-to-head record for Brewster and Chatham, it's identical, 3-3. Then you have to go down to how they did against the rest of the division, and Brewster has it by just a half game. Now, if I lost you in the middle there, the Whitecaps, if they win this game today, or if Chatham loses against Orleans tonight, will be playing YD in the first round. If not, it'll be Orleans as Brewster's first round opponent, barring, of course, a tie. Now let's send it back to Maura and Aiden.
Thank you very much, Carter. And 3 innings in the books here at Stony Brook Field. 6-5 the score. Mariners lead the Whitecaps. As Connor McNamara back out onto the mound, he retired Antoine Duplantis for the final out of the top of the third inning. Stranded the bases loaded for the Mariners. They left the bases loaded, but they did take a 6-5 lead in that inning. Aiden Doyle alongside Maura Sheridan here on Lower Cape TV, channel 99. You just heard from the third member of our crew, Carter Woodeel, as the first pitch from McNamara in for a strike to Jake McCarthy, the Mariners' right fielder. 1 for 2 on his day. Started out that 3-run third with a double to right center field as McNamara misses downstairs in the dirt to even the count at 1-1. McNamara working quickly through the windup. This one hits sharply past Datras at third base and into left field. Cutting it off is Hill, but rounding first and digging for second. The throw from Darius Hill in time to get McCarthy, trying to stretch a single into a double. And so he hit the ball hard, but he is thrown out at second base on the 7-4. And so there's 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning as Josh Smith digs in from the left side.
Well, that's a big out for Brewster. As you mentioned, Jake McCarthy had a double in the third to kind of start out that run and that comeback for the Mariners. And then yesterday he had a big triple to start the comeback. So this is a guy you don't want on the base paths.
It really does a good job setting the table as this one's hit in between first and second and into right field. A 1-out single for Josh Smith. And so the Mariners have a man aboard, and that's where that trying to stretch that single into a double becomes even more costly, because you got to believe McCarthy would obviously advance to second, potentially even third on that ball. So now instead of runners at the corners, you got 1 out and 1 runner on first for Kobe Vance. Vance today 0 for 1, reached on a walk in his first plate appearance before grounding out to third for the first out of the third. McNamara working from the stretch, comes set, and the first pitch. This one hit on the ground towards short, fielded on a hop by Graffinino, gets the out at second, throw on to first in time. 6-4-3 goes to double play, and so a couple of nice defensive plays for the Whitecaps in the top of the fourth inning as McNamara works a scoreless frame. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 3.5 here at Stony Brook Field. Mariners 6, Whitecaps 5. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. It'll be a matchup of the Tar Heels here to start things off in the bottom of the fourth inning as Harwich goes back to the bullpen. It's Cole Aker, the right-hander out of UNC Chapel Hill, taking over out on the mound for the Mariners after Christopher Gow worked a 1-2-3 bottom of the third inning. And the first pitch to fellow UNC Tar Heel Zach Gahagan misses inside for ball 1. Gahagan 1 for 1 today with a single. Came around to score as he lifts this one in the air to shallow center field. Going back is Kobe Vance, and that one will drop in for a base hit. Zach Gahagan 2 for 2 as he wins the battle of the Tar Heels. And the Whitecaps have the leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the fourth.
Man, Zach Hagan is having himself a day, and I just remembered it is his 22nd birthday.
It is. You're right about that. He was talking about that before the game. I forget exactly who it was, but somebody wished him a happy birthday. And I was like, oh, it's Zach Hagan's birthday.
Yeah, he's feeling 22, having a good day.
One of my favorite Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah, had to make that reference.
You know something? I'm just waiting for my 22nd birthday so that I can sing that song and actually feel what it's like to be 22. As the first pitch now to the number 9 hitter, A.J. Graffinino drops a bunt down the third base line. It's a good one. Bobbled by the third baseman, Ogren. Throw on to first base in time. Almost beat it out, did Graffinino. But a nice recovery by Ryan Ogren at third base. But the first base umpire, Larry Rosenberg, calls him out. But Graffinino gets the job done. He moves Gahagan to second base on the 5-3 sac bunt. And now with one out and the top of the order coming up, the Whitecaps have a runner in scoring position. And it's another Tar Heel, so another battle of the Tar Heels in which, especially when you look at this Eastern Division, teams like Chatham, Orleans, Harwich, there's so many Tar Heels here on the Cape. As the first pitch to Datris, a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1. Datris today's reached base twice, does have a run scored, but doesn't even have an at-bat yet. He walked in his first 2 plate appearances. as he swings through a fastball there from Aker for strike 2. So Datros quickly behind 0-2. 1 out, runner at second for the Whitecaps. 6-5 the score. Mariners lead the Whitecaps. As Aker comes set, and the 0-2 pitch. Fastball lifted in the air down the right field line. Slicing foul, giving chase is Verdon, and that one will drop foul. So Datros able to stay alive, and the count remains 0-2. You can just set on the numbers for Aker this year, considering how quickly he's worked so far. He's appeared in 12 games for the Mariners. That's second on the team, one of which is a start. This is his 13th appearance, tying Theo Rodliff for the team lead in appearances. As the fastball misses high, count now 1-2 on Datros. Pitched 21 2/3 innings. Is 1-3 on the year, does have a save, and has a 3.32 ERA. 1-2 the count as Aker comes set. Gehagen leading off of second. Breaking ball. Datros checks his swing, and the appeal down to Larry Rosenberg says he went. Larry Rosenberg, who's situated behind the pitcher's mound, rings up Kyle Datros, who goes down swinging for out number 2. Here's my question on a play like that. How is Larry Rosenberg's viewpoint any better than the home plate umpires? I mean, I understand that the home plate umpire is obviously supposed to be watching the ball, not the swing, so he's focused on the ball. So Rosenberg obviously has maybe a better vantage point on how far, in this case, Datros went around, but because he's not down at first base because of Gehagen at second, he doesn't really have all that much better of a view. As the first pitch now to Chandler Taylor, cut on and miss for strike 1. Taylor today 0 for 1. Had a very important at-bat, though, in the second. With 2 outs, he fell behind 0-2 in the count. Bases were loaded and battled all the way back to work a bases-loaded walk that then set the stage for Mickey Gasper's 2-run triple. As the fastball from Aker misses outside, count evens at 1-1. Aker working from the stretch, comes set. And the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses high and outside. Debo thought about a snap throw down to second. As didn't like quite how far Gehagen was getting off the bag, but decides otherwise. 2-1 now the count on Chandler. Aker from the stretch, 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses off the plate. Debo trying to bring the mitt back towards the outside part of the zone, but home plate umpire Mike Collier saw through it, and the count now 3-1. Three-one pitch. Breaking ball misses off the plate, and Chandler Taylor works his second walk of the game. And so now there's runners on first and second for Mickey Gasper. Another nice at-bat from the Alabama right fielder. And Mickey Gasper digging in from the left side against the right-handed throwing Aker. Mickey, who was presented with the team MVP award before today's game, as well as the coach's captain award, so the only Whitecap to receive multiple distinctions. As the first pitch from Aker finds the zone for strike number 1. I know I already mentioned it, but he was also given the John Claffey Award from the entire Cape Cod League as the league's most outstanding player from New England. As he looks at a fastball on the outside corner from Aker for a strike 2. 0-2 now the count. Gasper today 1 for 2. Flew out to left in his first at-bat before tripling to right center in the second. Looks at a fastball there from Aker on the outside part of the zone. That one just misses off the plate, though. The count now 1-2. Now Brad Debo goes out to the mound to have a chat with Cole Aker. Gasper from Merrimack, New Hampshire, plays his college ball at Bryant University, where one of the Bulldogs. As Aker comes set, and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball just misses off the outside part of the plate, and the count evens at 2-2. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Whitecaps. 6-5 the score. Mariners lead Brewster. And the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. Gasper chased that one off the plate on the outside part. And that will go down as out number 3. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on for the Whitecaps in the bottom of the 4th inning. We're through 4 here at Stony Brook Field. Mariners still lead the Whitecaps 6-5. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99. And as always, streaming live on YouTube. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Mariners in the top of the 5th inning. Nick D'Alessandro, Ryan Ogren, and Jordan Verdon due up against Connor McNamara. 6-5 the score. Mariners lead the Whitecaps. Aiden Doyle and Maura Sheridan here. Carter Woodeel, the 3rd member of our crew, as the first pitch from McNamara misses high and outside to D'Alessandro for ball 1. Now he swings through that offering from McNamara to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. D'Alessandro, designated hitter today for Steve Engler's Mariners, hailing from Purdue University. As the 1-1 fastball fouled off towards what would be the Whitecaps on deck circle. 1-2 now the count. Two 3-run innings for the Mariners, 1 5-run inning for the Whitecaps. That's been all the scoring. Doing it in bunches as this one's hit on the ground towards short, fielded on hop by Graffinino. Throw on to first in time to get D'Alessandro for out number 1.
Good job there by A.J. Graffinino to not charge that one, kind of let the ball come to him, as that took a kind of weird bounce towards the shortstop, and then he has really quick hands. That's why he was Defensive Player of the Year for the Whitecaps this year. And get that out.
It took a weird hop right off of the lip of the infield grass. As now Ryan Ogren steps in, looks at a first pitch breaking ball for strike 1. McNamara working quickly through the windup, and an 0-1 fastball misses off the plate. Count evens at 1-1. Ogren, the 3rd baseman out of Elon University, one of the Phoenix down there in North Carolina. Really just a Tar Heel State heavy matchup. As McNamara misses down and in with a breaking ball. 2-1 now the count. Guys from UNC Chapel Hill, Elon, NC State. As this one's chopped right back up the middle. Charging is Gahagan, who is shaded towards the bag. And now Fields throws on the first in time for out number 2. Nice play there by Zach Gahagan. Situated himself exactly in the right spot. And there's 2 down here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, I don't know how Duke fans would appreciate you calling it the Tar Heel State.
Well, that's the nickname of it.
I guess, but
That's not my fault that Duke isn't as represented. It's not the Blue Devil State, guys. And first of all, I'm convinced that in the grand scheme of things, more people like UNC than Duke. As this one's fouled off towards Whitecaps dugout. 0-1 now the count on Jordan Burden. And it might just be the fact that, well, although this kind of cancels it out, the fact that both of us go to Syracuse and don't exactly have a great affinity towards Duke University. As this one's fouled off again, same spot, so McNamara quickly head 0-2. I'm just looking at the number of guys from a Carolina school. We've got some UNC Greensboro guys on here. East Carolina's represented. 0-2 pitch from McNamara misses high and outside for ball one. That one just misses off the plate. Elon, obviously. NC State. This one lifted in the air. Down the third base side, giving chase is Kyle Datris, but he'll run out of room as this one drops just out of play. So Verdon able to stay alive. Count remains 1-2. All I'm saying to Duke fans is, hey, if you don't like the fact that it's called the Tar Heel State, change it to the Blue Devil State. Start a petition. As McNamara misses down and away to even the count at 2-2. Verdon today, 0 for 2, struck out swinging in his first at-bat. That one ended the top of the first inning, then reached on a fielder's choice in the third. As McNamara paints the inside corner with a fastball, Verdon down looking for out number 3. Connor McNamara with a 1-2-3 top of the fifth inning. Picks up his first strikeout of the game. No runs on no hits, no errors, no one left on base for the Mariners. We've played 4.5 here at Stony Brook Field. Mariners still lead the Whitecaps 6-5 on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube.
Costas, Curry, Hale all due up for the Brewster Whitecaps. Cole Aker still on the mound for the Harwich Mariners. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning, and the Whitecaps are trailing the Mariners by 1 run. It's 6-5 here at Stony Brook Field. Marty Costas now digging in for Brewster. Here comes the first pitch from Aker, and that will hit him right in the back. Marty Costas got clipped by a ball right there in the back, and he will shake it off and stroll down to first. On the first pitch he saw from Cole Aker, that one looked like it's probably going to leave a bruise there on Marty Costas, but he's all right, and he is going to take first. And the Whitecaps, no matter how painful, have a leadoff base runner to start this bottom of the fifth inning.
Yeah, that's talk about a silver lining there. You get the leadoff man aboard, but wow, that was a fastball right. Looked like right on the left shoulder blade is where it clipped Marty Costas. I don't even want to say clipped either. That one, you could hear it through the headset here. Marty Costas took that one in stride, though. Seems like we're making a couple of Taylor Swift references there as he shook that one off.
And now it's Michael Curry's turn with Marty Costas at first. First pitch, that one way inside to Curry. That one almost clipped Curry as he kind of turned around. Counts 1-0 on the Georgia Bulldog.
Curry's smiling, though. He's always having a good time up at the plate. You see the two-seam action there from Aker, runs in on the right-hander. It seemed like the one that threw to Costas just got away from him.
Next pitch from Aker misses outside. Counts now 2-0. And I had an inkling. Marty Costas has been hit by 7 pitches this year for the Brewster Whitecaps. That's the most on the team. Getting on however he can as the 2-0 splits the plate. Count moves to 2-1 on Michael Curry. Curry had a leadoff walk in the second inning to spark a big 5-inning comeback for the Brewster Whitecaps, but Harwich regained the lead. It's again 6-5. Mariners on top. Here comes the 2-1. This one finds a strike zone again. Counts now 2-2 on Curry. And Curry's last at bat in the third inning. He had a pop fly over to right field. Jake McCarthy with that grab. Aker holds a set and is staring in. Here comes the 2-2, and that one looks like it almost clipped Michael Curry again. Able to move out on that was just an inside pitch that got out of the hands of catcher Brad Debo as Marty Costas takes second on that play, and now the count runs full. Cole Aker kind of struggling with command up there on the mound for the Harwich Mariners.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they score this one, whether or not it's a pass ball or a wild pitch. Definitely a bit wild there from Aker, but right off of the end of Debo's glove, allowing Costas to move in a scoring position.
Here comes the payoff pitch, a swing and a miss, and he got Michael Curry to wave out a pitch, and that is a strikeout for Cole Aker. A big one, as Michael Curry, a tough batter to face, and now it's Darius Hill up to bat for the Brewster Whitecaps.
And they did score that one, a wild pitch that allowed Costas to move to second. And a big spot here for Hill. No double play in order thanks to that wild pitch. Got a runner in scoring position, a single likely scores them, and ties this game up.
First pitch to Hill, hit high into right center. Moving back is the center fielder, and that one will hop the wall. So that's going to be a ground rule double for Darius Hill, and Marty Costas will come home. And we are all knotted up at 6.
Well, I said a single ties this game up. How about a double for Darius Hill? Just drove that one out to right center field. Now, Darius has a very interesting swing. He drops his hands before the ball, starts approaching to him, and really has more of a horizontal swing, a very flat plane. So it's tough for him to generate a lot of power. He hits for a high average, has a great swing for West Virginia, hits a ton of balls, a ton of line drives, but it's tough for him to get the ball in the air. And there he just drove one out to right center field. The wind helped obviously a little bit, and he's standing on second base. This game's tied at 6.
First pitch to Julian Infante, foul tipped. That just bounces off the glove of Debo, and Darius Hill will move into third. So now the go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Brewster Whitecaps. We'll see how that one scored. That one just popped out of the glove of Debo, scored it a little bit behind him, and Darius Hill, with the speed he has, he's an outfielder, was able to move into third. Aker staring it. Here comes the 1. That one hit to Kobe Vance at second, who stares down Darius Hill to third and makes the play over at first and retires Julian Infante, who is now the only Whitecap in the starting lineup that hasn't gotten on base today.
Well, first things first, they did rule a pass ball on Debo that allowed Hill to move to third base. But there you see the heads-up defensive abilities of Kobe Vance at second base. That's not an easy play, moving towards first base to field that one. A lot of guys, because it's the easy play, would just flip to first base and say, okay, I'm not going to turn and check the runner at this point. Vance, though, recognizes Darius Hill's at third base, fields, that's his immediate first move. Look towards third, look back Hill before getting Infante at first base.
First pitch to Zach Gahagan will hit him. Cole Aker hit his own teammate right in the back again. Zach Gahagan screams ow as just a kind of goofy way, looks at the bat boys, throws off his shin guard, and he will walk to first, and it looks like he's all right on that one. But once again, that one's going to leave a bruise, and 2 times Cole Aker has hit a Brewster Whitecap with a pitch in this inning alone. Remember, he hit Marty Costas with one in the very first batter that he faced in this bottom of the 5th inning. So now runners at the corners for AJ Graffinino with 2 outs here again in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, happy 22nd birthday, Zach Gahagan. You're 2 for 2. Your reward, you get hit by a pitch by your own teammate in the back. And it looks like now Harwich will go to the bullpen. But just quickly before we take this break, it seems though with Aker is that he's trying to get these right-handed hitters on the inside part of the plate, trying to jam them. And because he throws that two-seam fastball, it's going to run in on a right-handed hitter. He's just leaving the ball too far in, and it's moving, I think, more than he even expects it to.
And so Cole Aker's day is done. There's going to be a new Harwich pitcher. We'll take a quick break here on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. We do indeed have a pitching change for the Harwich Mariners. It's going to be Theo Rodliff replacing Cole Aker in this game. We just saw Cole Aker hit his own UNC Tar Heel teammate Zach Gahagan in the back with a pitch, so there's now runners at the corners as Darius Hill is at third base for the Brewster Whitecaps. There's 2 outs. The score is all knotted up at 6 at Stony Brook Field. Here comes the first pitch from Rodliff, fouled off by AJ Graffinino. Counts now 0-1. On the number 9 hitter for the Brewster Whitecaps, Graffinino scored on a wild pitch in the 2nd inning. And in the 4th, he was able to move the runner with a nice sacrifice bunt from AJ Graffinino. Rodliff with the throw to AJ Graffinino, and they'll throw over to second. Zach Gahagan is safe at second, and Darius Hill crosses home as Brewster, on a bit of a crazy play, regains the lead. They are now up 7-6 on the Harwich Mariners.
Yeah, the throw the second got away, and recognizing that was Darius Hill at third base, saying, hey, I have pretty good speed. Obviously, moving a bit off of third anyways on the throw to second because the ball is the farthest away from home that it'll be while still in the infield. But then once the throw got away, Darius Hill took off for home and was safe standing up.
As the next pitch from Rodliff misses outside, counts now 2-1 on AJ Graffinino. That is going to be scored an error on the Harwich Mariners, so that's how Darius Hill comes home, as once again Rodliff misses outside, counts now 3-1 on Graffinino. Brewster up 7-6 on the Harwich Mariners. Here comes the 3-1. Graffinino hit hard into right center, and this one will drop in the gap. And on the way home is Zach Gahagan, and he will cross home plate. Graffinino motoring into third, and that's going to be the second triple that we've seen And an RBI one at that, as AJ Graffinino with a stand-up triple brings home Zach Gahagan and makes this an 8-6 game.
Well, not only the second triple, but the second stand-up triple. How about that? It's the hardest hit to get in baseball, the triple. You either, most of the time, hit a home run or a double. The triple is much rarer than either of those. And to see two stand-up triples, one by Marty Costas, one by AJ Graffinino, man, what a day here at Stony Brook Field.
It has been an offensive showcase for both teams as Theo Rodliff misses inside to Kyle Datris, counts now 1-0. You've seen 14 runs scored between the two teams as the 1-0 is fouled on the first base side. Counts now 1-1 to Datris. Datris has worked 2 walks in this game in the first and second, ended up coming home in the second, and then in the fourth struck out. And a questionable check swing call there as the 1-1 is chopped over to the shortstop Josh Smith. He's unable to field it correctly, and once again the Brewster Whitecaps score another run as they are now up 9-6, regaining a pretty strong lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
That one just chopped right in the hole between short and third. Smith was able to get to it and backhand it, but he lost his footing on the dirt here at Stony Brook Field. Kind of slipped a bit, had to reach down with his throwing hand, kind of try and regain his footing, unable to do so. And I mean, Datris has good speed, so even if he fields that cleanly, it's going to be a close play at first base.
And now it's Chandler Taylor up to bat with just Kyle Datris on, as he'll hit one hard and stay fair on the third base side. Chandler Taylor moving to second, as Kyle Datris is now at third. The Brewster Whitecaps really just putting on a show here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kyle Datris once again now at third as Chandler Taylor hits a double right on the third base line, just kind of squeaked by Rin Ogren. That one's staying fair, and Chandler Taylor is on once again today.
Well, that's what I've been trying to talk about with Chandler so much, is that, he hasn't even given me a chance until now. Before coming to the Cape, he was very pull happy, trying to, launch the ball 400 billion feet every time he hit the ball, which frankly he can pretty much do when he makes contact. But going the opposite way, that's something he struggled with before coming here, and he worked primarily with Tommy Weber, Jason Kanzler, and Ryan Smythe on being a more complete hitter, someone who can hit line drives out to left center field, go the opposite way, and not just try and cast his hands out and pull the ball to right field. He's got so much raw power, so much raw ability, that every time he just barrels the ball up, he's going to hit it hard.
Probably not what the Harwich Mariners wanted, but Theo Rodliff is going to leave this game. There's going to be another pitching change in this inning for the Mariners. When we come back, we'll let you know who it is. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. Chandler Taylor is at second. Kyle Datris is at third. There's 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 5th, and Mickey Gasper is up to bat for the Brewster Whitecaps. The Whitecaps have scored 4 runs in this inning alone. Chased 2 pitchers out of this inning alone. It's been a big inning for the Brewster Whitecaps, who are down 6-5. Before the bottom of the 5th, as Mickey Gasper takes the first pitch in for a strike. Counts now 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. This one fouled hard on the third base side. Count moves to 0-2 on Gasper, who, as we talked about, had a great stand-up triple in the second inning. Brought home 2 runs for the Brewster Whitecaps. New pitcher is Brian Christian, as Mickey Gasper hits one softly to shortstop Josh Smith, who throws it over to first. Verdon makes the out, and that will do it in this bottom of the 5th inning, but 4 runs come through for the Brewster Whitecaps. They are now up 9-6 on the Harwich Mariners. We're through 5 innings of play. Stick with us. You're listening or watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. A couple of defensive changes, or just one to tell you about. Hunter Bishop taking over for Marty Costas in center field for the Brewster Whitecaps. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Connor McNamara still on the mound for Brewster as expected. This will potentially, as the script says, devised by Jamie Shevchik and Austin Straub. This will be his final inning on the mound today. Digging in is Brad Debo. As the first pitch to Debo misses outside. Counts now 1-0 on Debo, who's behind the plate today for the Harwich Mariners. Here comes the 1-0. That one misses inside. Count moves quickly to 2-0 on Debo. Debo grounded out in his first at-bat in the second inning and then had an RBI single in his last at-bat in the third, as the next pitch again misses outside. Counts now 3-0 on Debo. Connor McNamara worked a quick top of the 5th inning as the 3-0 paints the outside corner. Counts now 3-1. And in the bottom of the 5th, the Brewster Whitecaps regain the lead. They're now up 9-6. Here comes the 3-1. Misses below the knees, and that's a leadoff walk for Brad Debo and the Harwich Mariners.
Well, it's the first walk McNamara has given up all ball game, and he's really just been fantastic so far in relief for the Whitecaps. Obviously, Matthew Beck didn't exactly have the best start, and the start that Shevchik and Straub are hoping for, just going 2 2/3, giving up 6 runs. But McNamara has come on and just been absolutely fantastic so far. Really, really kind of just settled down and given this Whitecaps team the relief they need and giving them quality in it.
McNamara finds the strike zone on a fastball. Counts now 0-1 to Andrew Moritz. the number 9 hitter for the Mariners, with Brad Debo at first. McNamara with the 0-1. This one once again drops in for a strike. The count's now 0-2 on Moritz. It looks like this is going to be Cam Simmons pinch hitting for Moritz in the number 9 spot. Here comes the 0-2. This one misses outside. Counts now 1-2. So Moritz Simmons, in his first at bat. Teammates with Jake McCarthy at Virginia. Stands quite tall out there at 6'4". Here comes the 1-2. This one fouled right behind him. Stays alive in this at bat, and the count's now remains 1-2 on Cam Simmons. Staring in is McNamara, swivels his head to look over at Debo at first, and here comes the 1-2. This one chopped to A.J. Graffinino, a double play in the books. He'll step on the bag and throw it over to Julian Infante. And that will indeed be a double play, the second one we've seen from the Brewster Whitecaps today. As a nice play there by A.J. Graffinino for the 6-3 double play.
Well, as our man Carter Woodie likes to say, just what the doctor ordered there for McNamara. Lead-off walk allowed by the right-hander, his first of the ball game. That's obviously what Steve Englert and the Mariners want, but Cameron Simmons quickly erases that by hitting that soft chopper to Graffinino at short.
Fastball misses up high on leadoff hitter Antoine Duplantis. Counts 1-0 on Duplantis. Duplantis had a double to start this game off, as the next pitch again misses inside. Counts now 2-0 on the leadoff hitter. And then was able to come home in the first inning and make this a 1-0 game. It is now 9-6. A lot of runs scored through as he'll pop one high. It's second baseman Zach Gahagan calling everybody off, gets under it, makes the grab, and that's 3 up, 3 down once again for Connor McNamara, retired the last 6 batters that he has faced in this game. The score is still 9-6. Brewster on top of Harwich. We're through 5.5 innings of play. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Bishop, Curry, and Hill all due up for the Brewster Whitecaps, as Hunter Bishop again replaced Marty Costas in center field for the Brewster Whitecaps, and he'll get his first at-bat of the day right now. Again, it's still going to be Brian Christian on the mound. For the Harwich Mariners, here comes the first pitch from Christian. That one's in for a strike, counts 0-1 on Hunter Bishop. Christian out of Plymouth, Mass. Plays for Northeastern, so a local guy. Plymouth's about an hour away here on the Cape. Next pitch hits the dirt and counts now 1-1 on Hunter Bishop. For the Huskies, or for the Mariners, Christian has a 6.57 ERA as the next pitch to Bishop Called strike. Counts now 1-2 on Hunter Bishop. Here comes the 1-2. That one bounces right in front of Debo and high into the netting behind him. So the count moves to 2-2 on Bishop.
Yeah, Christian attended Plymouth North High School, one of the two regional Plymouth schools, along with Plymouth South.
Here comes the 2-2. This one hit high and will tail foul on the third base side. So Bishop working and staying alive in this at-bat.
One of the premier baseball programs, especially at the Division II level in the state of Massachusetts. Team won the Atlantic Coast League Championship his freshman, junior, and senior years.
Here comes the 2-2. That one drops just below the knees. Counts now 3-2 on Bishop.
They also won the state championship when he was a freshman. And listen to these stats. As a senior, he went 8-2, had a .46 ERA.
Payoff pitch. Fouled off again by Bishop.
In his final 4 starts, he threw 4 consecutive one-hitters, struck out 46 batters, and didn't allow an earned run.
Did you play against him?
I really hope not. I mean, frankly, I may have.
The payoff pitch. Once again fouled on the third base side. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm gonna guess he might have struck you out, Aiden.
I can tell you one thing. He definitely pitched against my high school, Nauset. But I can guarantee you one thing. That .46 ERA, I was not responsible for one of those earned runs.
The payoff pitch once again. This one again fouled by Bishop, so Hunter Bishop really making Christian work in this at-bat for an out. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Brewster's up 9-6 on the Harwich Mariners.
Plymouth North always had us in baseball, but I will tell you this. They never beat us out there on the golf course.
The payoff pitch once again, and Hunter Bishop will work a walk, as that one was dropped in the dirt by Brad Debo. And so Hunter Bishop is on, and now it's Michael Curry up to bat for the Brewster Whitecaps.
Nice at-bat there by Hunter Bishop. You know, coming off the bench, obviously replacing Costas in the outfield defensively before getting an at-bat, but they're working the walk against Christian. Really saw a lot of pitches there, fouled off a couple of them into the backstop. It's not exactly easy to, go up in your first at-bat and just kind of hit the ground running. Nice plate appearance there.
Michael Curry waves at the first pitch he sees from Christian. Counts 0-1 on Curry. Michael Curry responsible for kind of the start of that big second inning where Brewster scored 5 runs. He worked a walk to start the game, or start that at bat, as he'll pop one high. Looks like it's going to remain in the infield. Shortstop Smith calling everybody off and gets under it and completes the first out of this bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, it just seems like a little bit like Curry's timing might be off a bit against Christian. Got underneath that one. It was a fastball right on the inner half of the plate, a pitch we've seen Curry drive for much of the season, just underneath it, and popped it up in the infield. He's a guy who, if he squares that up, I mean, you're looking at a ball that goes over the scoreboard here at Stony Brook Field. He has that much raw power in that bat where if he squares it up, he can really put a charge into it.
Christian checks over at Bishop at first. Bishop dives back, is able to get back safely to the bag. And now Christian will stare in to face Darius Hill for the Whitecaps. Once again, Christian checking up. Head first dive there by Hunter Bishop in time, so Hunter Bishop getting a little workout over there at first base. Has a pretty significant lead. Once again, Christian, and he will catch Hunter Bishop in a bit of a rundown. Kobe Vance will make the tag, and Hunter Bishop just was too many steps away from the bag, and a great job there by Christian to catch him in that rundown and Kobe Vance to make the tag. And now there is 2 outs and nobody on for Darius Hill.
Well, it definitely looked like Bishop was leaning towards second base there. He's a guy who steals bases. He's tied for the team lead with 8 of them on the year.
Here comes the next pitch to Darius Hill, or the first pitch. Called strike. Count moves to 0-1.
And he's got so much raw speed, and he's so big that he takes these big leads, just trying to get as much of an advantage as he can.
The 0-1, a fastball that misses high. Count moves to 1-1 on Darius Hill.
But I was pretty impressed there by the move from Christian. I mean, he's a right-handed pitcher. It's much harder to steal off of a lefty than a righty.
Here comes the 1-1. This one hit hard and high, but will tail foul on the third base side. Counts 1-2 on Darius Hill. Hill's play of the game came in the 5th inning as he had a stand-up double. It's actually as Hill will foul this one, this time on the first base side. Staying alive in this one, Hill had a ground rule double in the 5th inning that brought home Marty Costas to kind of mount the comeback where Brewster took the 9-6 lead in that bottom of the 5th as Christian misses up and away. Count moves to 2-2 on Darius Hill. Hill, typically a reserve guy for the Whitecaps, but has come alive as of late. Something Jamie Shevchik is very excited about. Here's the 2-2. Once again, fouled off by Hill into the netting behind him this time. Kind of the second batter that we've seen give Christian a run for his money in this inning. Hunter Bishop really made Christian work in his first at-bat, and Bishop ended up working a walk. Here comes the 2-2. And Darius Hill will hit one right into right field. It will drop in front of McCarthy, and that's going to be a base hit for Darius Hill.
Nice job there by Hill. Got the inside fastball from Christian. Just kind of fisted it into right field. Jammed a bit and used that strength of his to drive it into right field. A lot of guys might get jammed there, break their bat or something, but Hill stays inside, goes with the pitch, drives it into right field, and he's 2 for 4 on the day.
2 outs, runner on first. Now Julian Infante up to bat. Here comes the first pitch to Julian Infante, a big swing and miss. From the Vanderbilt Commodore, count moves to 0-1. As I mentioned before, Julian Infante is the only player in the Brewster Whitecaps starting lineup that has not gotten on base today. That includes Hunter Bishop, who subbed in for Marty Costas. As a Christian drops a breaking ball in for strike number 2. Runner on first. 0-2's the count on Infante. Here comes the pitch. That one misses just outside to Infante, moves the count to 1-2. Infante sporting his gold cleats, as I know Carter, our sideline reporter today, loves the style of Julian Infante. As Christian checks over at the bag to make sure there's no movement from Darius Hill. Here comes the 1-2. This one hit high into left field. Moving in is Simmons, and it will be Josh Smith, the shortstop, that calls everybody off and makes the play over in shallow left field. No runs come through for the Brewster Whitecaps. They do get 1 hit, and they leave a runner on. The score is still Brewster 9, Harwich 6. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube.
Whitecaps 9-6. Well, there's a new face in the Brewster Whitecaps dugout today. It's Shane McDonald, the man out of Fordham. Spent 4 years with the Rams, did the left-handed pitcher. He'll be suiting up for Southern New Hampshire University this coming spring as a 5th-year senior. He had a terrific year with the Hamptons League this summer. He pitched for the Long Island Road Warriors. In the regular season, only 21 1/3 innings pitched, just 1 earned run allowed. The problem for Jamie Shevchik and the rest of his coaching staff is he just pitched 2 days ago, through 7 innings in a league championship game in the Hamptons League. So he's not going to make his Whitecaps debut until Saturday or Sunday at the earliest, and even then, Shevchik says the matchups are going to determine when he actually gets into a ball game. Now let's send it back to Maura and Aiden in the broadcast booth.
Thanks so much, Carter. Shane McDonald getting added. That's an Irish name, coming from 2 pretty Irish kids sitting in the booth. Maura Sheridan, Aiden Doyle. I'd say that's just about as Irish as it gets. And it's going to be a pitching change for the Brewster Whitecaps. As expected, Connor McNamara out of the game. It's going to be Drew Reveneau taking over for the Brewster Whitecaps. We're in the top of the 7th inning, and Brewster is up 9-6 on the Harwich Mariners.
You know something? Before the game, when Shane McDonald got to the ballpark, he's wearing his Fordham shirt. He has reddish hair, obviously a very Irish name. And Tommy Weber, assistant coach for the Whitecaps, was talking about, wow, that's an Irish name if I've ever heard one. You know, I wonder where your heritage is from. And I'm standing right next to him. I'm like, hey, you know, I got a pretty Irish name too there, Tommy. I know you're coming from the Italian side of the family. You're down in New York where everyone's Italian. You're from Brooklyn, and you love to remind me of how good the food is in New York. Don't sleep on the Irish.
Yeah, I think we both maybe got him beat. Maura Siobhan Sheridan. That is the most Irish name I have ever heard.
Although, to be honest, I'm only half Irish and the other half's Italian, so if my mother heard me right now, I'm sure she wouldn't be too happy with me taking the side of the Irish part of the family.
Jake McCarthy leading off against Drew Revenue as his first pitch misses outside, and there's a couple of defensive changes to tell you about for the Whitecaps as Foyle is in left, Evan Foyle in left field, and Connor Smith is at shortstop for the Whitecaps. McCarthy will foul Revenue's pitch on the third base side. Counts now 1-1. So, a little bit into our heritage. Perhaps the listeners didn't really need to know so much about us, but now you do in the last game, regular game of the season. As Revenue's breaking ball is chopped to the first baseman, Julian Infante. Revenue in a foot race and will not beat Jake McCarthy to the bag. Drew Revenue just got a bit of a late start, and McCarthy has wheels and was able to get to first on an infield single.
Well, he chopped that one so high that Infante had to wait about a year and a half for it to come down. But no, he fielded that one. Revenue got to the bag quickly. There was really nothing he could do about it. It was an accurate flip from Infante. Like you mentioned, Maury, just good wheels from McCarthy. And it almost looked like first base umpire Larry Rosenberg was about halfway to calling him out there, and then at the last second changed it to a safe call.
McCarthy, a dangerous man on the base paths for Harwich, as Josh Smith now digs in and hits one in the gap in between short and third. That's going to be a base hit for Smith, as Devin Foyle was able to throw it over and stop any movement to third, as McCarthy just moved to second and Smith is now at first, but two back-to-back singles in Drew Revenue's start on the mound today.
And now with Revenue on the mound, we can give you the final line on Connor McNamara. He was fantastic. 3 1/3 innings, just gave up 2 hits, no runs, only walked 1 and struck out a batter as well. Just really what this Whitecaps pitching staff needed.
Revenue, first pitch to Kobe Vance, misses a little high above the runners, counts now 1-0. And as I was saying, McCarthy, a very dangerous man on the base paths. I mentioned this yesterday, 27 for 29 at Virginia this year in stolen bases, as Mickey Gasper gloves a low throw from Revenue. Counts 2-0 on Kobe Vance. Vance worked a walk in his first at-bat and has been silent since in his last 2 in the third and the fourth. Grounded out in both those at-bats. Here comes the 2-0. This one popped high and above the press box. That one will go foul. Counts now 2-1 on Vance.
Yeah, he led that Cavaliers team in stolen bases. 13 ahead of second place Ernie Clement, who was last year's Cape League batting champion with these Harwich Mariners.
How about that for some trivia?
And in third place, if you want more, was Adam Hazley, who last year was an Orleans Firebird, and this year was a first-round pick in the MLB draft. Fun fact, Laura.
Here comes the 2-1. This one chopped right back to the pitcher himself, who makes the play over at second, and that's going to be a double play for the Brewster Whitecaps. So for the second time today, Kobe Vance hits into a double play, as Drew Revenue was able to make that play as it went right to him on the mound. Turnaround throw to second. The throw to first was in time, and now we quickly have 2 outs and just a runner at third for the Harwich Mariners.
Well, off the bat, it wasn't hit very hard, right back to Revenue, but it was really fielded softly. Had to wait for it for a second, and Vance has good speed, so I didn't really think they had a chance at turning 2 there.
First pitch fouled off by Nick D'Alessandro.
But obviously, Reveno with a good throw to second, and then a quick turn by Gahagan, who was covering the bag. And they were able to turn the double play. That's a huge, huge 1-4-3 double play for the Whitecaps.
0-1 misses outside. Count moves to 1-1. Alessandro, the designated hitter today for the Harwich Mariners. His play of the game came in the third when he hit a single and was able to come home in that inning, as he'll foul the next pitch on the first base side. Count moves to 1-2 from Reveno. Reveno headed to St. Louis next year to play some college ball. The 1-2. A swing and a miss, and he got him. Drew Reveno gets out of a mini jam. The Harwich Mariners leave a runner at first. They do get 2 hits, but no runs come through. The score is still Brewster 9, Harwich 6. We're through 6.5 innings of play. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Zach Gahagan is digging in for the Brewster Whitecaps, as it's going to be Connor Smith on deck as he replaced A.J. Graffanino at shortstop. And then it will be Kyle Datris to follow Connor Smith in the bottom of the 7th inning. Brewster up 9-6 on the Harwich Mariners. First pitch from Christian, hit high into left field by Gahagan, and getting under it is the left fielder for the Harwich Mariners, Cam Simmons, who replaced Andrew Moritz out there. And that's going to be a quick first out for Brewster.
And even though it goes as an out in the scorebook, it was still a good piece of wood there by Zach Gahagan. And obviously today, 2 for 2 before that out there. That's a good sign. He's someone who, this came to this team primarily, as a leader, but trying to rebuild.
First pitch to Connor Simmons.
Rebuild. Sorry, Maura?
Drops in for a strike, counts now 0-1.
You're trying to get back to some of his full strength after.
As the next pitch paints the outside corner, counts now 0-2.
After he had a bit of a medical issue, but he's a guy who's been struggling a bit from the beginning of the season and is really starting to hit the ball hard.
0-2 just misses outside, counts now 1-2 on Smith.
Seems like he's seeing the ball better, making harder contact, obviously picking up a couple of hits today.
Here comes the 1-2. That one fouled hard on the first base line by Smith. Stays alive in this one. It's 1-2 on Connor Smith.
So if Gahagan's able to get going, it just gives another option for this Whitecaps team. A guy who can play multiple positions.
Here comes the 1-2. This one hit into right field, and getting under it is Jake McCarthy. He had to move in a little bit and was able to make the play, and it's 2 up, 2 down for the Brewster Whitecaps.
Yeah, Smith just kind of looped that one into right center field. Hung up there just long enough for McCarthy to be able to cover the ground. We talked about McCarthy's speed on the base paths. Well, it also plays in the outfield as well, as he was able to cover a lot of ground to get to that one and retire Smith for out number 2.
Now it's Kyle Datris' turn. He's been up 4 times already today. This is his 5th at-bat. We're just in the bottom of the 7th as he takes the first pitch below the knees. Counts now 1-0 on Datris. Next pitch just paints the outside corner, and counts now 1-1 on Datris. Datris has walked twice today, and he does have a single in the 5th inning as he'll swing and miss at the next pitch from Christian. Counts now 1-2 on Datris. This has been an offensive clinic from both teams. 19 hits combined as Datris fouls one into the netting behind him. Count remains 1-2. This reminds me of the 11-10 Brewster win not too long ago here at Stony Brook Field against this same Harwich team. The 1-2 misses in the dirt. Count moves to 2-2. These aren't two teams that are known too much for their offensive prowess, but they just put on a show in that game and are really doing the same here on August 3rd as Kyle Datris swings and misses, and that's going to be the second strikeout of the day for Kyle Datris as he had one in the 4th, and it's a quick 3 up, 3 down, bottom of the 7th inning. The score is still Brewster 9, Harwich 6. They don't get a hit, they don't get a run, and Brewster doesn't leave anybody on. Stick with us, you're watching Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Top of the 8th inning here at Stony Brook Field. Drew Revenue still on the mound for the Brewster Whitecaps. It's going to be Ryn Ogren, Jordan Verdon, and Brad Debo all up to bat for the Harwich Mariners. We're in the top of the 8th inning, as I mentioned, and Brewster leads 9-6 over Harwich as the first pitch from Revenue misses outside, counts 1-0 on Ogren. Ogren over at third today for the Mariners. Here comes the 1-0. This one fouled on a pitch that would have been outside. Counts now 1-1 to Ogren. Ogren has a single to his name today in the 1st. Walked in the 3rd, then grounded out in a 4-3 play in the 5th inning. Here comes the 1-1. That one an inside breaking ball that drops just below the strike zone, below the knees, so the count's now 2-1 on Ogren. Drew Revenue entered this game in the last inning as Ogren chops one to the second baseman, Gahagan, who makes a throw to Julian Infante at first. And Infante, with a nice grab there, is able to tag Ogren as the throw from Gahagan was a little bit high. And that's why Julian Infante is the first baseman that Jamie Shevchuk trusts.
Yeah, if you remember correctly, at the beginning of this year, the Whitecaps had a lot of errors at first base. It wasn't a position with much stability, and you could tell Jamie Shevchuk was just waiting on the arrival of Julian Infante to solidify that position, really hold down the fort over there defensively, and he's really done that thus far.
as Verdon will hit the first pitch he sees over to left field, and Devin Foyle will make that grab, and that will be the second out of this top of the 8th inning. Moving pretty quickly as we saw this game kind of dragging on as some big innings from both teams. And now things are starting to speed up as the game moves on. The offense is kind of slowing down for both teams.
Yeah, the first 2 innings took about an hour, and the last 5 have taken an hour and a half.
Brad Debo fouls the first pitch he sees from Reveno on the third base side, counts 0-1. Brewster had a big second inning and a big 5th inning, scoring 5 in the second and 4 in the 5th, and Harwich had a big first and third, scoring 3 in each of those as breaking ball finds a strike zone for Reveno. Count moves 0-2, Reveno going ahead. Reveno replaced Connor McNamara, who did a stellar job on the mound for the Whitecaps, as Debo once again fouls this one on the third base line. Stays alive, counts 0-2. The Whitecaps are trying to end the regular season on a high note as they go into the playoffs. The 0-2, a breaking ball, drops in just a little high. Counts now 2-2 on Debo. And for the Mariners, this is the last game of the year. They know that it's all over tonight. Here comes the 2-2. This one hit high into left field and right field and will drop in for a base hit. Brad Debo getting on with 2 outs, and now Cam Simmons up to bat.
Well, nice piece of hitting there by Debo. Reveno just left the fastball up in the zone. Debo, a good hitter, jumped all over it and roped it into right center field. Reveno has been good so far, though, in his first inning and 2/3. Got out of that jam in the 7th inning and got the first 2 outs here in the 8th. Just left the fastball up a bit, found too much of the strike zone, and Debo barreled it up.
Debo, the first base runner of this inning for the Mariners, as the first pitch from Reveno, a fastball and a called strike to Cam Simmons. Counts 0-1 on Simmons. Simmons replaced Andrew Moritz over in left field and in the batting order in the number 9 spot in the last inning, and he takes the next pitch. That misses outside, counts 1-1 on Simmons. And in his first at bat in the 6th inning, Simmons hit into a double play. Here comes the 1-1, a big swing and miss from the Virginia Cavalier, and the count moves to 1-2.
It's been a theme so far for the Mariners, is hitting into those double plays. They've got 3 of them.
Here comes the 1-2, a swing and a miss again. And Cam Simmons goes out via the strikeout. No runs come through for the Harwich Mariners in the top of the 8th inning. They do leave a runner on just 1 hit. The score is still Brewster 9, Harwich 6. We're through 7.5 innings of play. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Taylor, Gasper, and Bishop due up for the Brewster Whitecaps here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Barring a huge comeback by the Mariners. This could be the last time the Whitecaps are up to bat in the regular season.
Here we go, baseball fans.
Chandler Taylor digging in from the left side. It's still going to be Brian Christian on the mound for Harwich.
He wears number 46, and here is Chandler Taylor.
Christian staring in. Here comes the first pitch. Big swing and a miss. Got him to cut out a fastball there, and the count's 0-1 on Chandler Taylor. Taylor has 2 walks today, including an RBI walk in the second inning. As a off-speed pitch drops in for a strike, counts now 0-2 on Chandler Taylor. Taylor also walked in the 4th inning and then had a standing double in the 5th. Next pitch misses outside to Taylor, counts 1-2.
And I think in a box score filled with triples and doubles, people will overlook that walk, but it was a huge.
As the 1-2 misses inside, counts now 2-2.
It was a huge plate appearance for Chandler Taylor and the Whitecaps. There were 2 outs. He fell behind 0-2. Bases were loaded, and he worked it all the way back
Here
for
comes
a walk.
the 2-2. That one fouled by Taylor into the glove of Debo. Can't quite glove it.
And that walk tied the game at 3 at the time. And that also set the stage for Mickey Gasper's 2-run triple, which gave the Whitecaps the lead.
The 2-2, a big swing and a miss from Chandler Taylor. And Chandler Taylor will strike out for the 2nd time today. He started out this game with a big swinging strikeout. And in the bottom of the 8th inning, that's the same way he'll go down, as Mickey Gasper now up to bat for Brewster.
Yeah, they chased that high fastball there, and it always looks better for the hitter than it really is. That one up in the zone. If you can get it, you can barrel it up, then you're going to drive the ball far, but it's not as easy as it looks. It always looks a bit more appealing to the hitter.
Mickey Gasper fouls the first pitch he sees from Christian. Moves the count to 0-1. Mickey Gasper had a huge play in the 2nd inning as the 0-2, the 0-1 misses. Counts now 1-1. Here comes the 1-1. That one finds the strike zone. Counts now 1-2 on Gasper. Doesn't quite like that call. That one just above the knees of Gasper. The 1-2 from Christian. This one finds the gap in between 1st and 2nd, and Mickey Gasper once again gets on a single for Mickey Gasper. Just some nice hitting from the Bryant Bulldog today.
And that one just roped in between 1st and 2nd into right field. And after taking that called strike 2 on the inside part of the plate, he didn't exactly like it. A lot of hitters might try and go into defense mode or something like that, might fall a little bit behind, be flustered by their disagreement with the call. Not Mickey Gasper, just jumped all over that pitch and drove it into right field for a 2nd hit of the day.
First pitch to Hunter Bishop, hit high into the infield. It's going to be the first baseman, Verdon, who's on the move, and that one, just a miscommunication between Harwich. It dropped, and that will be an infield single. However, Ogren able to make the play over at 2nd. Hunter Bishop. So Mickey Gasper is gone. Cut out of the equation on that play. That one dropped in, but Hunter Bishop got in to 1st, and then for some reason I think may have thought that that was the 3rd out. Ran like he was jogging to the dugout, but was able to run back to 1st safely, but poor. That situation turned poor for the Whitecaps.
Well, either he thought it was the 3rd out or he thought the infield fly rule had been called. Something there from Hunter Bishop, but obviously Gasper thrown out at 2nd. That's just some tough luck for him.
And Christian looks over at Hunter Bishop, just checks up on him, and Bishop safe to the bag. There is 2 outs, as we just saw Mickey Gasper cut out of the equation on a heads-up play from Ogren over at 3rd, as Michael Curry hits one high into left field. That one is out of here. Michael Curry, a 2-run homer for Michael Curry. That's his 2nd of the year, a no-doubter over to left field. The left fielder, Cam Simmons, didn't even really move on that one. He knew that one was out of here the second it hit Curry's bat. And so does Michael Curry with a big smile on his face. He crosses home plate. He brought home Hunter Bishop. And now it's 11-6. Brewster taking a big lead here at Stony Brook Field.
Well, Michael Curry with the shot there to left field. You know, he's a guy who, we talked about it his last time up. He got underneath it, popped it up to the shortstop. But if he ever barreled one of those up in the zone, one of those pitches that Christian can leave up there, he's got so much raw power. He's got so much strength that he's going to hit it a mile. And that one he did. Drove it down the left field line. He's got so much power. He knew it was gone the second it left his bat. And you could tell by the way he carried himself, very similar to his home run in the Cape League All-Star game, where he hit it. And yeah, he took a couple of seconds to watch it go there as he walked down the first base line for a few seconds, but he knew that ball was gone. His second home run of the year. Before the All-Star game, he said he wanted one more home run for the regular season. He got it.
And he did get a home run in the All-Star game where the East won 5-3 over the West. And then once again, Brewster is up 11-6. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, and now it's Devin Foyle up to bat. He replaced Darius Hill out in left field for the Whitecaps. Here comes the first pitch to Hill. That one a called strike right up the middle, counts 0-1. Foyle and Hill, typically the reserve guys in the outfield for the Whitecaps. Here comes the 0-1. That one misses inside, counts 1-1 on Foyle. The Kansas Jayhawk will be joined this year at Kansas by Whitecaps teammate Ryan Sear, who's transferring to Kansas as Foyle hits one high. This one looks like it will tail just foul, but under it is Ogren, and he is unable to make the catch. So Devin Foyle, because that one was foul, will retreat back to home plate and do it again. A little bit of a lucky play there for Devin Foyle, but he'll take it.
Yeah, it looked like Ogren was camped underneath it, just a routine pop up there into foul territory, but I guess the wind maybe took it a little bit. It was right off the heel of Ogren's glove, and like you mentioned, Maura, he was in foul territory when it hit off of him. So it's a foul ball. There's a couple feet to to Ogren's left, but from our perspective, the right, and you're looking at Devin Foyle on first base.
That's going to be scored an error. So now the Harwich Mariners have 2 errors in this game, but a bunch of miscues, as we just saw one on how Hunter Bishop got on. Nobody really called that infield pop-up, and it just dropped in right in the pitcher's mound as the 2-2 to Foyle is fouled on the third base line. No, it's not Aiden Doyle up to that.
Hey, I wish I was out there. It would be a lot of fun, but I think the Whitecaps are much happier that it's Devin Foyle and not Aiden Doyle out there in the batter's box.
I think we already established you would strike out against Brian Christian. As the pitch misses inside and runs the count full, 3-2 on Devin Foyle.
You know something, just to prove you wrong, Maura, I'd get up there and I'd hold my bat out like a bunt just so I'd make contact. And I'm confident I could at least hit the ball.
Okay. We'll test that out after the game. Stay tuned for that as Devin Foyle hits one to the first baseman Verdon with a nice diving grab, gets up and steps on the bag, and Devin Foyle goes down. But Brewster goes up 11-6 on a 2-run shot from Michael Curry. We're through 8 innings of play here at Stony Brook Field. Potentially just 3 more outs to go. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. We're in the top of the 9th inning here in Brewster, Massachusetts. And a bit of a weird defensive change for the Whitecaps is going to be Michael Curry catching. He's behind the plate. He is replacing Mickey Gasper, but because he was at DH, barring some huge comeback here by the Harwich Mariners, Drew Revenue would be batting, although Brewster is up 11-6. And the first pitch from Revenue misses inside, counts now 1-0 on leadoff hitter Antoine Duplantis. Next pitch from Revenue again misses, this time outside, counts now 2-0 on the LSU Tiger. Holding the set and the 2-0. Breaking ball that drops in, counts now 2-1 on Duplantis. Duplantis comes from one of the most athletic families I've heard of. Both of his parents were pole vaulters at LSU, and his little brother is also a pole vaulter, expected to go to the Olympics, as he waves at the 2-2. So kind of a weird sport to be great at, but his family just all amazing pole vaulters. Duplantis, pretty good baseball player, I would say, at LSU. The 2-2 on its way, and this one hit to Connor Smith at short, who can't quite make the play. It will go in between his legs, and that will put Antoine Duplantis at first to start out this top of the 9th inning.
Well, you said he should, stick with baseball, and that's a prime example why Duplantis with an absolute rocket over there to shortstop, and Connor Smith was kind of caught in between hops there. Wasn't sure whether to charge it and try and field it on the short hop or let it play him, and that's what he chose to do. It took a weird hop on him, he got caught in between hops, and it went right off of his glove between his legs, so that'll be an E6 on Smith.
As McCarthy hits one to Zach Hagan, the throw over to second, not in time, as that one will squirt behind shortstop Connor Smith, and that will score Antoine Duplantis, or move him to third, as that ball went out of play. Antoine Duplantis thought he should have scored on that one. He doesn't quite like that, but he will walk over to third as that ball went out of play. Again, Gahagan tried to throw it over to Connor Smith, who was covering second, and that one got behind the glove of Connor Smith. So now McCarthy is at second, Duplantis is at third, and now up to bat is Josh Smith.
Yeah, Duplantis gets the third because it's 2 bases from wherever you started. Duplantis was at first base, and obviously when the ball went out of play, he gets third.
As the next pitch from Revenue misses outside, counts 1-0 on Josh Smith. Smith has 2 singles to his name today in the 4th and the 7th, so started to heat up towards the end of the game. Here comes the 1-0. That one misses way outside. Again, it's Michael Curry behind the plate, replacing Mickey Gasper. Runners at second and third. Revenue staring in and now holds a set. Here comes the 2-0. That one paints the outside corner. Moves the count to 2-1.
Just the official scoring on that play, they say McCarthy reaches on the error by Gahagan and advances to second on the error. And then Duplantis, who's at first, moves to third on the E4. So after playing an error-free 8 innings, 2 errors for the Whitecaps here in the 9th.
Smith fouls one on the third base side. Counts 2-2 on Smith. Yeah, I'm sure the third member of our team, Carter Woodeel, had planned to ask Jamie Shevchik about maybe an errorless game. That all ends here in the top of the 9th inning.
Hey, as John Steinbeck once said, the best laid plans of mice and men oft go awry.
The 2-2, this one fouled this time on the first base side. Moving is Chandler Taylor, and that one will drop just foul right in front of the pole. That one just a couple of inches from potentially being either a great hit or potentially a home run from Josh Smith. We saw him homer already today in the 3rd. A 2-run shot from Josh Smith put the Mariners up once again after Brewster had worked all the way back into this game. But now Brewster leads 11-6. It has been quite the offensive showdown. Here comes a 2-2. This one again hit high into right field, and that one is a no-doubter out of here. Josh Smith has 2 home runs on the day, a 3-run shot off of Drew Revenue for Josh Smith, and this is a 2-run ball game.
Well, you know what that reminded me of? I'm going to throw it a little bit back here to the 2009 World Series. Hideki Matsui, Game 6, hit a foul ball down the right field line off Pedro Martinez that just missed being a home run. And it was like, okay, he's right on this pitch. Next pitch, deposited it into the right field seats for a home run. You could tell that foul ball from Smith was literally 3 inches from being a home run. I mean, that one was just foul. He was all over Revenue there, and Revenue left one right over the heart of the plate, and Smith's too good to have a hitter.
First pitch to Kobe Vance. That one a called strike, counts 0-1. You know what this reminds me of? The 11-10 Brewster win against Harwich not too long ago, where a big comeback was mounted by Brewster as Kobe Vance hits one high into left field, moving back, and that one is gone. Kobe Vance just made this a 1-run game. A solo shot by Kobe Vance over the left field wall. And Harwich is in the midst of mounting a comeback here in the the top of the 9th inning.
Well, Kobe Vance is listed at 5'8", 205 pounds, but he just swung the bat like a man who is 6'8", 255 pounds. He got a fastball there from Revenue and just crushed it out to left center field right over the 375 sign, and you nailed it right on the head, Maura. This is a 1-run game. Harwich with 4 runs in the top of the 9th. This is an incredible comeback. Even if Brewster hangs on here, the life that Harwich has shown here in the 9th is incredible.
Swing and a miss from D'Alessandro. Counts 0-1. Back-to-back homers. A 3-run shot for Josh Smith and a solo shot for Kobe Vance. Made this the 11-10 score is now as Michael Curry gets one off the knees. Squirts behind him, but no runners on. As I mentioned, the bases have been cleared by 2 home runs. The score was 11-6 before this inning.
And this is where the home run from Curry becomes so huge, that 2-run shot to give them an 11-6 lead at the time.
D'Alessandro fouls the next pitch off. It's the 1-2. The count's now 1-2. Yeah, Michael Curry may have just thought that was icing on the cake for an easy Brewster win. And clearly that is not the case here, as they're up just 1 run. Here comes the 1-2. A swing and a miss, and that's a big strikeout for Revenue, as D'Alessandro is very upset at that, as that could be the last at-bat D'Alessandro gets in the Cape League. Again, it's the top of the 9th. And there's 1 out. Just 2 outs away from a Brewster win. They're trying to hang on. I see some action in the bullpen. It looks like it's Zach Schneider warming up, trying to finish out this game. Brewster just wants to get a win, as it looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter in Matt Vierling up to bat for the Harwich Mariners. He's replacing Ren Ogren.
Vierling's a guy who's capable of going deep, has 1 home run on the season. Ogren does not have a home run.
Revenue misses high, counts 1-0. Vierling had an RBI single yesterday against the Brewster Whitecaps. Here comes the 1-0. That one again misses upstairs. Vierling ahead in the count, 2-0 in his first at-bat. So Vierling presumably will be over at third if this comeback continues the way it's headed. Again, 4 runs in this top of the 9th. Here comes the 2-0. That one a fastball. Finds a strike zone, counts 2-1. Drew Revenue just trying to finish out this game for the Whitecaps, trying to enter the playoffs with a win. This has been a high-scoring affair here in Brewster, Mass. Here comes the 2-1. That one misses low, counts 3-1. That one squirted behind Michael Curry at the plate. Revenue stretching it out there on the mound, taking a deep breath, and now staring in. Here comes the 3-1. And that one misses high and away, and that's another base runner, the tying base runner at first for the Harwich Mariners. And now, Jordan Virden up to bat.
Well, that's been Revenau's problem this season. We know he's got good stuff. He throws pretty hard, especially considering he's not the biggest guy in the world. But it's just a matter of commanding it. Sometimes he can lose control, especially of his fastball, fall behind in counts. And I think that's what Austin Straub's going out to the mound to talk to him about right now. Is just, hey, you know, obviously the tying runs at first base, but you've gotten out, try and keep the ball low here, pound the zone, especially low, keyword low. Keep it below the belt and try and get a ground ball here. I mean, Harwich was grounded into 3 double plays today. They had a chance for 4 earlier this inning, but then the error by Gahagan at second allowed Duplantis to move to third and McCarthy to reach. So they've gotten Brewster has gotten Harwich to ground into double plays today, and boy would they love one more here.
Looks like this little meeting between Straub, Curry, and Revenau is going to be broken up. Again, 1 out. Runner on first. And now Jordan Virden up to bat for the Harwich Mariners, who are trying to end their season with a bang. And a bang it would be. This would be a huge comeback victory for Harwich. Brewster, on the other hand, is just trying to hang on. Again, Zach Schneider is warming up in the bullpen for the Whitecaps. Revenau staring in. Here comes the first pitch of Virden. Runner going. Curry with the throw, and that one is going to be in time. Michael Curry makes the throw over to Connor Smith, who was covering the bag, and that's 2 outs, and that's a huge defensive play for the Whitecaps. Michael Curry had 28 guys run on him at Georgia, didn't pick any of them off. He hasn't had a pickoff this year in the Cape, and he just got his first one in a huge moment, and now there is nobody on for the Harwich Mariners. Next pitch from Revenau, drops in, breaking ball, strikes. Counts out 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. A big swing and a miss. And now, because of that pickoff from Curry, 1 strike away from ending this game is Drew Revenau. Here comes the 1-2. This one fouled above the press box. Virden staying alive, keeping the Mariners' season alive here at Stony Brook Field. The Whitecaps closing in on a win. Revenau staring in to Michael Curry behind the plate. Here comes the 1-2. This one once again hit high into left field. Getting under it is Devin Foyle, makes the grab, and that's gonna do it. Brewster avoids a massive comeback from Harwich, pulls off the win to end the regular season. They win 11-10 at Stony Brook Field. Oh, that was a close one, Aiden.
That was a close one indeed. You could just feel the tension here. You could cut it with a knife here at Stony Brook Field in that 9th inning. 4 runs for the Mariners, making it an 11-10 ball game. But hey, as my dad likes to say about golf scorecards, there are no pictures on scorecards, just results. And this one's going in as a W for the Brewster Whitecaps. And this has got to feel good because, yes, it's a little bit worrisome there in the 9th inning. But to win the game makes it feel even better that, hey, Michael Curry throws out a runner at second base. Michael Curry, it's a home run. Zach Gahagan's hitting the ball well. Going into the playoffs, this has got to be a great win for the Brewster Whitecaps.
So for the second time at Stony Brook Field this year, Brewster wins 11-10 over Harwich in a crazy and entertaining game. The Whitecaps post-game show is on its way. Carter Waddiel will have Jamie Shevchek, a player of the game. There's so many to choose from in this one, as it was an offensive showcase from both teams. So don't go anywhere. You want to tune into this one as we close out the regular season here on the Whitecaps Radio Network, as you can keep watching on Lower Cave TV channel 99 and streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. Brewster just won 11-10 in the final game of the regular season over the Harwich Mariners, and it was a crazy win as Harwich mounted a great comeback in the top of the 9th inning to make this closer than we thought going in. They scored 4 runs off of 2 home runs. We saw back-to-back home runs from the Harwich Mariners from Josh Smith, who, by the way, homered already today. He had homered in the 3rd inning. Then he homered again in the top of the 9th, and then that was a 3-run shot, and then Kobe Vance followed that up with a solo shot of his own. Too close for comfort for the Brewster Whitecaps, but they were able to pull out the win. This was a crazy game. There's a lot to talk about, but what was the biggest takeaway going into the playoffs in your mind, Aiden, from this game?
Well, I think it's just showing a lot of confidence, and this is a team that has been a little bit inconsistent with the bats this season, especially with runners in scoring position. Today, that was not the case. I know I'm gonna harp on it again, but for me, yes, people will look at the Mickey Gasper triple, the A.J. Graffinino triple, the Michael Curry home run. That Chandler Taylor walk in the 2nd inning will fly under the radar, and no one will give him enough credit for that. Falling behind 0-2, especially for a guy who you mentioned it, Mora, had struck out in his last 3 at-bats yesterday, struck out in his first at-bat, so he struck out 4 consecutive times. He's behind 0-2. The bases are loaded, there's 2 outs. To battle back, work a walk there, bring in a run to tie the game, and then set up the Mickey Gasper 2-run triple. Huge plate appearance for Chandler Taylor. That's the type of game it was. You don't strike out there, you battle back, and you go into the playoffs with a huge 11-10 win over the Mariners.
And speaking of the guy who had the 2-run triple, we have him right here on the sidelines with our own Carter Wadil. Carter, take it away.
Thank you, Maura. Here with Mickey Gasper. Mickey had a great day at the plate today, 3 for 5 with that ribby triple, 2-run triple in the 2nd inning. Take me through that at bat.
Just a little correction. It was 2 for 5. I made a couple outs, but no, the triple was good. You know, I saw a couple people on base, and I just wanted to shorten up and get a hit for the team, get some runs in, try to tie it up. So I got a good pitch to hit, and I was just able to capitalize.
This was really a great day for you guys all up and down the lineup. I know it was kind of a squeaker at the end, but what can you say about the way your offense is heating up right now?
I think we're just putting quality at bats together at the right time, and we're being a cohesive unit with our bats. So we're just trying to get good pitches. We're going to take our walks, but we're going to take our hits when we're there, and we're just trying to situationally execute.
You've taken home 3 awards in the past few days. You got 2 tonight, including team MVP. I know you're a guy who's all about the team, but what does it mean, these individual accolades that you've been getting?
You know, it's special. You know, it's an honor. You know, I'm proud of myself, but I'm thankful for everybody that's helped me along the way. You know, coaching staff. My dad's been here all summer, you know, working with me, and the coaching staff at Bryant. So, you know, there's been a lot of people along the way that have been helping me, and you know, it's a really good moment in my life, and I'm very happy.
Lastly, you know, you were signing some autographs over there with the fans over by the dugout at the end of the game. This is the last home game of the regular season for Brewster. What's it meant to interact with the fans that we've seen on the Cape?
It's once in a lifetime experience. You know, I'm speechless. You know, this place here is just so incredible. These people here that come and support us are awesome. You know, it's the best place to be right now. I'm very happy.
All right, Mickey, thanks for doing this. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Carter, and that's great to hear from Mickey Gasper, a guy that is so well-deserving of really all the praise that he gets. 3 awards in the past couple of days, and you know, he had a great game today, but there's so many you could point to on this season where Mickey Gasper has stepped up when the Whitecaps have needed him to and just helped them get that win.
Yeah, today was huge for Mickey, and he's a guy who started out the year just absolutely on fire. You know, Eastern Division All-Star, was the clear-cut favorite for MVP on this team, and over the last week or so has kind of struggled a bit, you know, looking not quite as comfortable up at the plate. His average has dropped a bit, but today, to go 2 for 5, like you mentioned, that big triple to right field, there's always something you can count on with Mickey Gasper. He's going to give it 100%, 110% all the time. Mickey Gasper is a catcher/first baseman. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but if you saw the way he was chugging around those bases, digging for third, the second that left his bat, he knew exactly where he was going, and that's something every coach loves about Mickey Gasper, is that, yes, even if he's making outs at the plate, he's never going to get down, he's never going to get discouraged, he's going to approach every single at-bat the same. and try and do whatever he can to put his team in the best situation to win, whether that's contributing offensively, defensively, being the vocal leader that Coach Shevchik has talked about all season. That's what you're looking for in Mickey Gasper.
And it looks like Carter's going to get Zach Gahagan, who had a great day. It's his birthday, and I'm kind of bummed that he didn't bring the balloons over that he had in his hand. I guess his host family just gave him a bunch of balloons. He didn't bring them over with him to do this interview, so kind of a letdown, not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm sure he can hear us right now. I'm sure Carter's got to ask, where are the balloons? I mean, it's his 22nd birthday, and they're not here. We're all disappointed over here, Zach.
All right, Carter, take it away.
Okay, Zach Hagan here with me. Zach, you have been really heating up at the plate recently. You've reached base safely in 6 of your last plate appearances. What do you attribute that to? You doing anything different?
Just kind of taking time when I'm sitting on the bench and kind of going over my approach and reassessing those approaches that I struggle with in the beginning and kind of making a new approach and just taking it into the game, and it's having success, so I'm gonna stick with it.
Is there anything specific that you've been thinking about that you were able to take into these past couple of games you had?
A lot of it was at first was just timing, so I got away from the timing and just started thinking about pitches. But as of right now, I'm just kind of hunting the fastball and I'm getting them, and I just got to make good contact, and I've been able to produce some hits and get on base.
You're a guy who plays all over the field. Today's defense, no errors through the first 8, then a couple toward the end of the game. It's been an up and down year for your team defensively. How would you assess where your team is heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, we worked really hard with Tommy Weber, and he's helped us out a lot. But today at the end, we kind of got like a day of school and had the lead, and we just kind of almost blew it. But you got to be locked in every inning, and I think we've gotten better as the years went on. But we just got to stay locked in.
You've got YD in the first round on Saturday starting off. How do you think your two teams match up?
I think we'll be ready to go. I mean, we're swinging it well, and our pitchers are throwing strikes, so we just got to play defense, and the ball's got to bounce our way.
All right, and lastly, this is your 22nd birthday, so I got to ask you, what plans do you have after the ball game?
I don't know yet, but I'm feeling 22. I guess that's what you say.
All right, thank you, Zach. Have a good one.
Well, we appreciate that Taylor Swift reference, as we sort of made it all game, and we're probably being annoying about it.
We made it far too many times for her. In fact, it wasn't the only Taylor Swift reference that we made. Obviously, when Marty Costas was hit by a pitch, he said, he's just shaking it off. So today, a day full of Taylor Swift and a day full of runs here at Stony Brook Field with 21 put together. It would have been something, though, if this had been a 12-10 final, because then it would have been his 22nd birthday, 22 runs. Oh, it would have just been too perfect.
And not to make another one, but didn't Michael Curry look a little fearless out there when he made that throw over on that pickoff? That was a huge play of the game.
A throwback Taylor Swift reference as well, but yes, Michael Curry throwing out the runner at second base, that was big, and you could hear it in the Whitecaps dugout. The whole team rooting for him, and I think that's something that Coach Shevchik's going to touch on as well.
And we've got Coach Jamie Shevchik on the sidelines right now. Carter, take it away.
Thanks, Maury, here with Coach Jamie Shevchik. Coach, today was a great day for your lineup. All but one of your starters managed to reach base safely in this ball game. What can you say about how your team is performing with the playoffs right around the corner?
Today, I think the only important part of today was to get a win and move into the playoffs, with the win under our belt. Take some pressure off. Again, we played Orleans a couple of days ago, played YD a couple of days ago, so it's we've beat them. We both a few days ago, so it's the pressure's on them, not us, going into the playoffs. That's for sure.
One of the things you've talked about moving into those playoff games is getting timely hitting. You scored 11 runs today, did your team, and 10 of them came with 2 men out. How do you think you can keep that timely hitting going into the postseason?
If you're going to win baseball games and you're going to go deep, you're going to have to come up with some 2-out hits. Timely hitting is going to be important. Again, there's a couple aspects to this game that we need to take care of on our own, and that's get good pitching, take care of the baseball, and come up with the timely hit when we have to.
Now that you know for sure you're going to be playing YD, do you have any other thoughts about the matchup starting off on Saturday?
No, I mean we have no idea who we're going to face. It's the thing with YD winning 3 straight championships. If anybody's gonna dethrone YD, I would love for it to be us. So it didn't matter who we played, but if I had to choose anybody who's going to knock him off the throne, I'm happy that we're at least going to have a crack at him.
All right, they will have a crack at him starting off on Saturday at Red Wilson Field. Coach Shevchik, thanks for doing this. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carter. And once again, the Whitecaps beat Harwich 11-10 at Stony Brook Field. The next time you are here, you will hear our voices. It's going to be at YD. That's going to be Saturday. Start time TBA. We'll keep you updated on Twitter of when that game is going to be set. But you know it's going to be early because YD does not have any lights. So the playoffs are approaching. It's do or die for the Brewster Whitecaps. They open against YD again. That is going to be Saturday. Make sure you tune in to that game on the Brewster Whitecaps radio network. As for now, that's going to do it here at Stony Brook Field. We thank you so much for tuning in, and we thank the Harwich Mariners. Truly, this is their last game of the season, and they have given us some great games to call. I really would like to thank them. And it looks like Carter Woodell, we're going to be out of time. Michael Curry wants to talk. I'm sure we can always give him the chance to talk, but you can tune in to that interview with Michael Curry on Twitter. For now, I'm Maura Sheridan alongside Aiden Doyle for Carter Woodell on the sidelines. Thank you so much for tuning in on Lower Cape TV Channel 9 and streaming live on YouTube.